In a week that saw one of the craziest women's matches in professional wrestling history, as well as seeing another woman make history by becoming a double champion, and also included what was probably the worst gosh darn episode of AEW Dynamite I've ever seen in the history of the company. It's your new favorite obsession. It's Off the Mat. Welcome, everyone. Want to say hello to my cohorts. What's up, Styx? What's up, Dom? How are you boys doing tonight?
Oh, yeah, man. Listen, I'm kind of upset, man. My girl Jada was in New York City, in the city streets, man, where I could actually could have found her somewhere. And he said, what's up?
The streets was talking, but they wasn't talking to you this week.
I know. The streets were talking. They weren't talking to me. But, yeah, it was a very
That's
busy.
For the best, because you didn't want to end up with a restraining order, Dom.
I know. Hey, the city was really jumping for the 2 days with Raw and NXT. A friend of mine went to go see NXT. He had some really great seats. I know where they had the venue, it was a little small, so he was up close. He actually he really got to see Stephanie and Julia, that fight, and people were yelling Booker, Booker, Booker.
Yeah, I heard him chanting Booker. He's going.
I know. Hey, that, and I love how Julia turned it around and did it to Stephanie, which was actually really good. But yeah, you know what? This has been a great week in wrestling. Hopefully
every week's a great week in wrestling, Dom.
I know it's every week, but you know what? When you have the pay-per-views and you have the big events, like when it comes to town, when it comes to my town, I feel like wrestling's at its best. When it comes to, I'm sorry, it's just the New York lights, the bright lights, Broadway. It's just boom, it gets you, man. So
bright lights in the big
everybody
city.
was yeeting in freaking Madison Square Garden. Oh man, but other than that, man, it actually was a solid week, man. I was very busy this week, but not busy enough to miss my wrestling shows. I can tell you that.
That's good. I want to start off this week by talking about. I didn't put it in the news because it's kind of old news because it came out last week after we recorded. But Lex Luger is going to be inducted into the 2025 Hall of Fame. And I have to ask, do you think Lex Luger deserves it? Does he deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame over the likes of China, over some of these other superstars that have a very well versed and illustrious career that for one reason or another haven't been put in yet?
Well, what I could really, look at the overall picture. Lex was part of the group in the late 80s, early 90s that really propelled WCW. Also part of when he did come into the, they had the whole steroid friggin' era where everybody was using steroids and nobody had to say, was able to talk. But he had some really good matches. Like I said, his off the wrestling shenanigans were much more crazier. But other than that, man, to see the dude in a wheelchair, this guy was like one of the biggest stars of WCW back in the day. And hey, look, anything's possible. I know that people will probably disagree.
Dom, did you just push out a fart?
No.
Is that what that was?
No.
Oh man, that was poor timing then, because you were like, and I was like,
no, my chair is actually a little squeaky when I go back. I didn't fart.
Okay.
I didn't figure that one out. Believe me. But yeah, I think everybody, one way or the other, belongs in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, the WWE Wrestling Hall of Fame, except with the exceptions, there are a few that will never ever get there because of well, come on, we all know
reasons.
Yeah.
So you think
there's always a?
You think that Lex Luger belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame based on what he accomplished in WCW? Because even though, like, when I think of the WWE Hall of Fame, I think you got to have like the total package, right? You got to have the body, the body of work, the charisma, and to where Lex had the look. He doesn't. His time in WWE wasn't that illustrious.
No, it wasn't.
He was supposed to be like the next Hulk Hogan. He was supposed to take the company over from Hogan and take it forward, but he didn't even win a WWE championship. He didn't win a world championship until he went to WCW.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It kind of well, look, Vince had the guys that they liked. He liked that would give push after push after push after push. He was always good for that. He was one of the guys that didn't. I don't think Vince and him really seen eye to eye on a lot of things. So I kind of when he went to WCW, that's where he really propelled in a lot more championship banner, a lot of more championships. Tag team championships and freaking world championships. Once WWE bought the WCW, kind of, it took the accomplishments of that company and brought them over to WWE. Like I said, even though Lex Luger did shine his stint in WWE, he shined over there at WCW. So that actually translated over into WWE, and that's why he's a WWE Hall of Famer now. China's going to get her day. She's going to get a day. I know she had her ending wasn't really that illustrious and shit that happened, stuff like that. But she'll get her day. The eighth wonder of the world. DX.
Wasn't she the ninth wonder of the world?
Ninth wonder. Ninth one. I'm sorry. Eighth. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
under with eighth. Yeah, I still think she has a chance to get in this year. I think they still have another.
I think they have another 2 slots.
Opportunity to. Yeah, well, I mean, I think she has an opportunity this year, but especially with Triple H. Triple H is work with her, full pusher on her behalf. So, if anyone's going to put her in, it's going to be Triple H.
I mean, you got it. Like Owen Hart, Jim Cornette, Brian Pillman, Vader. Actually, I think Vader's in it. Psycho Sid Vicious, China.
You see, I don't know how they do the
Dean Malenko. Like there's so many
ballots. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, like Bray Wyatt. Even though Bray Wyatt has, he was still young, he still had a lot of time ahead of him, a lot more memories. But when the people pass, I think that should be the open door for a quicker way to the Hall of Fame.
Right?
Because you wait long. Like, hey, look, they got people to talk about when The Rock's going into the Hall of Fame. Rock is still, he's still wrestling.
He's still doing shit. Yeah,
he's still doing shit. I think that once you no longer really participate in the game, I think that's when you should be called in for the Hall of Fame. But Lex's Hall of Fame didn't surprise me because I knew that he would get in one way or the other. What did surprise me is that he got in this quick. Well, not like this quick, but quicker than a lot of the other individuals that should be there. So,
I think he deserves to be in there. What's up, Anthony? I don't think he deserves to be in there over the likes of some of the like Sid Vicious, China, Brian Pillman, Dean Malenko, Dynamite Kid, there's a lot I feel like have done a lot for the business more than Lex Luger did, and they're still lacking their induction. And I mean I agree with you. I think putting Rey Mysterio in it and then have him to go on to continue to wrestle is kind of a joke. Yeah. At this point, you might as well put Cena in it this year since he's retiring.
Exactly.
And have him be inducted into the Hall of Fame and let his final run be, a Hall of Fame run. Especially if you're going to give him 17. Like,
exactly. So that's the thing. I think personally, if you wrestle, you shouldn't be put in right away. I think the legends that are out or the legends that pass should be the ones that go in first, and you could work your way because it makes no sense. It's like, look, you see, if you watch a base, I know it's a different type of Hall of Fame, but you look at baseball. After a person retires, 5 years after a person retires, that's when they get inducted. And they're not playing like, oh, you know what? Once I get to the Hall of Fame, I'm going to go back. I'm going to come back out of retirement. No. I think wrestling should do something like that where if you pass and if you're no longer wrestling, that's when you should have the okay to going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, and I think too, like, if you're going to let someone like, you know, Ricky Steamboat, who kind of has a checkered past, or no, is it Steamboat or is it Snuka?
It's Snuka. Snuka had a lot of.
Snuka had a lot of. Sorry, it's not Steamboat. I apologize.
Some drug episodes. I think he had like he had a couple of drug charges or something like that. But
I mean, if you have like Snuka, you have, you know, you're gonna bring in Luger. You have these people that have checkered past and have done things that have hurt the business. To now, why wouldn't you let like the likes of Owen Hart in, a guy who who literally gave his life for this business?
I know, and see, that's the thing. I don't understand how it works. Like, who puts these? Like, you know, look, you put Pete Rose in there.
I think it's just a crapshoot at this point.
You put Bob Uecker. You put friggin' Donald Trump is in the Hall of Fame. You have all these guys, all these not. I know it's sports entertainment, but I think the wrestlers.
To be honest, like the only celebrity that really deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame is Andy Kaufman because of all the stuff him and Jerry Lawler did for pro wrestling.
I know. Hey, well, Pete Rose used to get friggin' tombstoned every friggin' time by Kane. So you gotta, you know. But at the end, you're right. Andy Kaufman was the one that started out, and they also made a movie. They made the movie with Andy Kaufman. You know, the whole thing with the Jerry the King Lawler. Was it work or was it like real and stuff like that? And to this day, I don't know. They came out and said that it was a lot of work, but also some of it was real. You know, but if you're a wrestler and you're still wrestling and you're still at the height of your career, you see like the exception like a Bray Wyatt who passed away, and for the little time that he was here, he made a big impact. So if you're gonna induct people like that, and Lex, like I said, Lex is you know, he really propelled WCW. He put WCW on the map. Him in there, this and that. There was a lot of great battles that he had with Sting. A lot of great battles he had with the wrestlers of WCW. So I'm not surprised. You know, like I said, I'm always surprised that he actually got in ahead of a few other people that should be definitely in.
So Jimmy Snuka was inducted in '96.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got that whole Nancy, what is it? Argentino. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Murdered situation. And I mean, yeah, China had an issue with drugs and substance abuse. And of course she did porn, but she was also did Playboy and was celebrated in WWE for doing Playboy. So, like, I feel like at this point, like Chris Jericho has said that the WWE Hall of Fame is kind of a joke, and it's really starting to feel like that.
Yeah.
Like, especially the more years that go on when you're putting a bunch of celebrities in it, and you've got, you know, names like Big Boss Man, or although Big Boss Man, it's questionable whether I would put him in eventually, but you know, it's just, it's crazy. Like, you have big guys like Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, or, you know, a lot of these guys that have done so much for the business. And I know there's issues with Sid too, but I mean,
I think you had issues with just about every wrestler back in the 80s and 90s. Everybody did something, you know, really. Everybody had some sketchy passes. Everybody had some sketchy stuff that they'd done. You know, I don't think anybody has a clear bill of being good. So everybody had something. So it's like, I could see. Do you ever see Vince McMahon get inducted? Oh,
I think there is a day that he will get inducted. If for some reason all this, allegations go away or this figures itself out and he pays her off or whatever, if this all goes away, I could see 5-6 years down the road, Vince McMahon being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And rightfully so, because of what he did, for the business. And without him,
we wouldn't have the WWE.
We would still be in territories, and pro wrestling wouldn't be the global phenomenon it is today.
Exactly. And you have to really, he is the daddy to what we have. We wouldn't have it today, and you're right. And and that's what I say. Everybody has their checkered past and the demons that they battle, this and that. It's what you do later on. And like it's hard to redeem yourself if you did really bad stuff. But if you acknowledge the shit that you've done and the things that you've that you regret, that's a start on something that you learn that you're the reason why certain things are certain ways.
I think again, my standpoint is I think Lex belongs, but he doesn't really have the body of work. Like I wouldn't say he had a total package. Like he had the look for sure, but he didn't do. If it was like, oh, this is the WCW Hall of Fame, I'd be like, okay. And I understand WWE owns WCW now, but like, do you put an asterisk next to his name and be like, in for his body of work in WCW?
Dude, we all know it's a joke, so they're not going to do that. He's in the Hall of Fame, and it's kind of like, there should be separate parts. That if you were yes, it's sports entertainment, but two separate entities.
It's two separate. But look at like what they do with the Boxing Hall of Fame. There's different companies that these boxers fight for, but the Boxing Hall of Fame is just for that boxing. It doesn't matter what company you came for.
They're all still part of the World
it's something different.
But, so I think if they're gonna, I don't know, man. I don't think it should be looked at as a joke. Professional wrestling is a serious thing to a lot of people.
It is.
And they should have
the Hall of Fame is very serious to these guys. I mean, if these guys get inducted, that's something special to them. And my feeling on Luger is that I think there's kind of a more of a push for him because of what's been going on with him lately. And yes, he is still alive, and
he walked out of his chair. He was able to stand up.
And I think this decision to have him come in probably came recently. It wasn't anything that they built up to. I'm all right with him going in. It's WCW. His WWF run wasn't great, but he'd been around the job a long time, and then I think he earned a due. I think he earned this one, in my opinion.
Like, I mean, again, I just go back to names that deserve like Owen.
No, I get it.
Or
I definitely get it. It's just like I said, I don't mind him being in the Hall of Fame. I'm just very surprised that he went ahead of all these other people that should be ahead of him. And I get it. It's just one of those things where it might have came. Like I said, it's kind of crazy. Look, it's kind of crazy that we're living in a world where we've seen the craziest stuff happen in wrestling. We've seen CM Punk that said that he will never, ever come back to WWE. Never, ever. And we watched hell freeze over. We watched Vince McMahon being taken out of the business, because of all these things. We watched, the craziest, witnessed the crazy stuff in our time. Look, and anything is possible. Like I said, and that was the thumbnail last week. The WWE, where anything is possible now. Like anything that we can think of is possible. Like people are coming back. Like, hey, look, give you a good example. Goldberg calling out Brock Lesnar to come fight him for his retirement match.
We must see that, and it's a Punk move because he knows that Lesnar's not going to be back in WWE as long as his name is.
I know, but who knows what? Look. all we know is they said that it's allegedly. We don't know. Like they said his name was it, but if really we don't have the paper in front of us, we don't know what the deal is. You know, like there's so many different things that are going on. There's so many different pieces to that damn puzzle. We don't know. Maybe we will get in WrestleMania Goldberg versus Lesnar. Possibility for his last match. You know, who knows?
Do you honestly, as a fan of professional wrestling, do you honestly want to see Goldberg, Brock Lesnar 3?
Yeah. Yep.
I can't remember how many times they fought.
A salute from
is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3.
What 3?
That Goldberg versus Lesnar, because it's 3, right?
You know, yeah, but you know what? I don't care because guess what?
God damn it, Styx, quit holding up 4.
Look, you know what? I don't really mind it. You know why I don't mind it? Because it's Goldberg's last match. And if it's Brock Lesnar's last match too, it's all great. And hey, hello, salute.
Good evening, Arturo.
Arturo, hello, salute from Santiago, Chile. Vaquer, yeah. Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh man, we gotta talk about her. But you know, like I said, we don't the possibilities are endless now. We'll see.
Okay. So we're both right. We're technically both right. Singles match is 3.
Yeah.
Total match is 4. So I wonder if they faced in like a tag team match or something, but they've
tag team or probably a triple threat. Maybe
a triple threat. There, yeah. So there you go. So Brock has apparently won 1 of the 3.
All right.
So
imagine having Brock, Cena, and Goldberg. You know?
Yeah, but I don't want to see.
I don't want that.
I know you don't
that match again. And Goldberg, to be honest with you, as much as I loved Goldberg and his run in WCW, after his match with Bray Wyatt, no, thank you. I don't care to see Goldberg ever again.
I know what you mean.
If you can't pick your dude up for a jackhammer, it's time to find a different finisher or just call it a day. Like the whole retirement thing is to put the incoming stars over. At the point where it was going to be Gunther earlier last year, that would have made sense because they were trying to push Gunther as the next big thing in WWE. He's already done that himself. He established himself. We don't need that push from Goldberg anymore.
What about Gunther? I got to talk about him too. I got something about him.
Give that push to somebody who needs it.
Yeah, I know. And look, we all know that Goldberg does not want to friggin' go out losing. He always said that he's definitely not taking a fall. So we know that. So just have 2 guys, 2 monsters fight each other and just do that thing. You can have Bronson Reed come back and freaking jump on both of them. You know, but
he's no longer big.
I know he's
no longer
weight.
Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah, no longer. We got to talk about that too, which is crazy.
I didn't put that in tonight because I felt like that was old news to you.
Well, you know what? I think that could be on the dirt sheet, son. It is.
Yeah, we gotta make that segment happen for you, Dom.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was saying we should change the name of the news to Dom's Dirt Sheets, but I think we should just give you your own segment, Dom's Dirt Sheets, where you could talk about all the speculation and rumors and anything you want. It's a segment where Dom can go whatever way Dom wants to go. But
right off the rails.
Let us know in the comment section below if you think Lex Luger belongs in the Hall of Fame. Also, we put a poll up in the chat to ask you if you believe that Lex Luger belongs in the Hall of Fame. Make sure to vote in that. Well, that'll be up all night while we're live. But let's move on. And what do you boys say we get into a little bit of news tonight?
Let's do it.
Breaking news! We got a clash! Wrestling ring about to blast! In the arena, we let this ride! DNA, Nick knows the vibes! Slam this story, cutting away!
All right. We got a couple news stories that I think are going to generate good conversation tonight. And kicking us off here, we have a little message from Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that message is that he was not very happy with his WrestleMania match with Kevin Owens. He said Stone Cold Steve Austin last wrestled at WrestleMania 38, defeating Kevin Owens in a single match. Owens talked trash about the WWE Hall of Famer, which led to Austin accepting a challenge to appear on the KO show. This eventually led to this epic match between the two. During a recent appearance on the Takedown podcast, Austin reflected on his match with Owens, admitting that some parts of the bout did not meet his expectations. He said, I was happy in the moment, but they didn't send me a ring down. They didn't send me a ring down. I don't have any timing. I think they interviewed Triple H, The Undertaker, Hogan. Each of them said something that was so true. Paul said, you can come back, but you don't know what you have because you haven't been out there. Undertaker said, you're not going to have timing. He was right. I don't have any timing. Hell, I didn't even hit a set of ropes for 19 years. I didn't throw a punch for 19 years. Hogan says, you're just not calloused up. Your body is not hard as it used to be. He was right, because when you take off, people talk about ring rust. That's timing. So, unhappy about his WrestleMania match about Kevin Owens. Does this open the door for a potential, rejuvenation or a potential comeuppance or correction as he makes an appearance in WrestleMania 41 in his backyard in Vegas to come out and help Cody Rhodes fight off The Rock and John Cena?
I'm going to say no, because it's not, from the sounds of it, he's more complaining about himself than he was Kevin Owens. So I think we can rule out them two fighting again, if anything. But
they pitched that match as Austin's retirement match, his final match, his ride off into the sunset. If you're not happy, like look at an NFL star. We'll use Aaron Rodgers. Talk about retirement. You're not happy with the way your season went. You're not going to ride off into the sunset yet. Who's to say, since Austin's not happy with performance, he doesn't try to rectify that some way at WrestleMania this year or next year? Or
how many times did you let him do that, though?
You see,
as many times as he's want. He's Stone Cold. He's still the top of the cream of the crop, man. He's still like the draw. Do you want him going out looking like a chumpier and chumpier every time he does it? I don't. I want him to be Stone Cold. I think Austin has more respect for himself.
He has to work. He has to work at it if he's gonna come back and do something. Look, he has to work at it.
Like I said, Austin had that knee surgery that he said he took care of, that he feels good. Yeah, you could see that he was a little rusty when he did fight Kevin Owens in that match. And because look, Father Time, man, is no friend to anybody. And it's like if you're working out and you're at a certain peak, if you stop working out, you're not going to be at that peak again. You have to get back to that peak. And the training, look, nobody wants to do the training. The training is excruciating. Stone Cold is 62 years old, right? 62?
Yeah.
61. Was it? He's 62 or 61.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is 60 years old.
60. All right, 60.
Just turned 60.
Just 60. You know what, man? Look, if he was in good shape, which I'm not saying he's not in good shape, because he works on his farm, he does his stuff that he has to do, but ring shape. Even The Rock works out and trains and in peak shape. He was rusty. So you need to train in that way. And who's to say that he's not training now? We don't know. He could be training to make that appearance at WrestleMania 41. And, I have a feeling that you're going to see a really good version of Stone Cold if he does show up at WrestleMania. Like I said, I think Stone Cold, I think this should be the last hurrah for Stone Cold. I think, he, even though he's at the top of the heap, I think, come out, help Cody, or even that betrayed Cody, become part of the corporation, be part of The Rock's corporation. But I can see him coming out and,
you mean the Rock and Soul connection?
But yeah,
his group is called.
The Stone Cold was supposed to come out last year at WrestleMania to freaking stun The Rock when Cody was fighting Roman Reigns. But he didn't show up. And they got the Undertaker.
He couldn't. So that's why Undertaker.
He couldn't because he was in a lot of pain. And now to say that his knee is okay, I can see him going out for like one last hurrah with this. He doesn't have to do much. All he has to do is just give give a stunner to The Rock or a stunner to Cena. That's all he has to do. And if you know Stone Cold, he'll stun The Rock, Cena, and that bitch ass freaking Travis Scott. Like to see that happen.
Them all.
Stunners
all around, huh?
You know what's funny? Speaking about Stone Cold, there was a picture that said 80% of this picture Stone Cold stunned. And it has Shane, Vince, freaking Miss McMahon. They had Stephanie, Triple H, and they showed it. The grandkids, they never got stunned. He should go to the house and stun them all.
He pretty much stunned their entire family.
Your family, exactly. But I see him coming out and being in shape because, like I said, he would not be like. It's kind of funny how everybody starts to talk when the big event's coming. That means they're coming. They're going to be there because you start putting out the speculation. Oh, I wasn't happy with this and that, so it gets the ball rolling. So
I'm not speculation on Stone Cold until it happens. Until you hear that glass shatter, I'm not speculating on that.
And they know that during WrestleMania season, there's a lot of eyes and ears on the wrestling community and entertainment wise. So when they start talking, people are going to be listening. So of course they're going to talk about this, that, and the other thing because people are willing to listen at this time of year.
Yep.
WrestleMania is coming up.
Yep. We'll see. Like I said, there's still a few months. There's still a month away. Dude,
I'm not with it tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't even put the graphic up.
That's all right, man. I was just wondering. We're just talking.
I forgot to put the graphic up.
But you know what? Like I said, Stone Cold, forever he takes the bumps and bruises. And I think, even though he wasn't at his peak against Kevin Owens, he had some time to take care of what he needed to take care of. And I do see him coming into WrestleMania 41 and making that surprise appearance and helping Cody.
Helping Cody fight off the the Rock and Soul connection.
Rock and Soul, right? Yeah, right. Rock and Soul.
The Rock and Sock.
You can have the Rock Sock and Travis
Rock, Sock, and Cock. There you go.
Yeah. And we'll see.
Our next story tonight revolves around Shinsuke Nakamura as off of Dom's dirt sheets. There's backstage update on the rumor that Shinsuke Nakamura is leaving WWE. A rumor surfaced this week on social media, initially attributed to the PW Torch Wade Keller, claiming that Shinsuke Nakamura was set to leave WWE soon. The rumor also suggests that his planned U.S. title rematch with LA Knight, initially scheduled for WrestleMania 41, was moved up to a recent episode of SmackDown. However, Fightful Select is reporting that WWE has no information to support these claims. Dave Meltzer also addressed the rumor, stating WWE has denied any truth to the speculation that Nakamura was leaving. When asked about whether Nakamura's recent match on SmackDown would be his last, WWE had not yet responded to the question. As of now, Nakamura is still under contract with WWE, Meltzer states. What do you guys think is going on with Shinsuke?
Well, I think he had the tragic passing of his brother, just passed away. I think he was going to take time off just to take time off because, regardless of the fact he hasn't been the best wrestler. He had the least amount of matches building up. He had this whole new catch song, this whole new song, this whole new look, and it didn't turn out the way it did. I think he wanted to probably take some time off, but then his brother passed away, and I think he wants to be with family now because of that. Because I think he was really close with his brother, and
sure,
I could see him taking time off and maybe not signing back with the WWE if his contract is coming to an end, but then again, maybe waiting and seeing what things transpire down the road. But the best bet was, I guess his mind wasn't there, if you really think about it, and they give it back to LA Knight. LA Knight was the best bet to get the U.S. Championship back, and see what happens. I wish him my condolences to his brother, to his family and stuff like that for that, and hopefully. Absolutely. If he doesn't sign, maybe he'll find a great venue on the Indies. Now, I hope he doesn't go to AEW, but if he does go to AEW, we'll see what happens. But You know,
I think if anything, he'll end up in New Japan.
Yeah, I think he goes back to New Japan if he goes anywhere. But here's the thing: Shinsuke Nakamura, this is one of those rare instances where the Indies made Shinsuke, and WWE kind of floundered Shinsuke because they got his name in the mainstream for the non like I don't want to say non-professional wrestling, but for the people who don't follow indie stuff, like people who are strictly WWE. They got his name on the map here in the States for people who don't follow New Japan. But his career in New Japan was amazing. And he's one of those talents that can go, but I feel like it's one of those rare instances where WWE sometimes has a hard time booking these international stars and guys like this. Like we saw it with oh my God, I can't think of his name. Sin Cara.
Yep.
We've seen it with some of the other Japanese wrestlers like Io Sky. Well, not so much Io Sky anymore, but Kairi Sane and some of the other Japanese talent that's come over. Shinsuke doesn't get that. He hasn't been able to go. They haven't booked him right. It's like they don't understand how to book him, and maybe he just doesn't work in the WWE style.
But you see, actually, you know what? I think they booked him more wrong. They could have put him part of a faction. He could have been part of a faction. Just say if they would got the Rainmaker who went over to AEW, you got him. Imagine him and Rainmaker. Then you get like Io Sky to be part of the group. You could have made a nice faction with him and built the whole faction on that. And that could have been
really
cool.
2.0.
Yeah, definitely could have did something cool. And I think that would have worked. I think that would have actually gave Shinsuke. I think Shinsuke needs a group to be with to really shine. You could have had that real a great group together that would have brought out the best of him. Individually wise, it's definitely like even when they friggin' what was his name that they friggin' he was tag team with he was on SmackDown. He used to sing. He had the Rock. He was the rock guy. What's his name?
Rick Boogs.
Yeah, Rick Boogs. Yeah, it's still didn't work. Yeah, it was great. People had to see it, but I think if he had him being a heel is his perfect MO. Having a stable that was heels and you could, like I said, you could have had the likes of Io Sky in there. You could have made this whole great group, but WWE, I don't think they thought of that, and I don't think they booked them right. And it's sad because sometimes they do book guys good, and there's some guys who fall at the waistline because they don't book them good. And I feel bad that he had a lot of potential, definitely a lot of potential.
He deserves better than
he does exactly.
Boo! There you go. So yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere, but it does feel like WWE is trying to wind down his career, and that might be at Shinsuke's request. And maybe he's not ready to hang it up yet, but he wants to work less dates, so they just kind of bring him back when they have a story for him. I thought this character was interesting that he was portraying, but they didn't do much with him.
Nope.
And he's never really made it. He's never really performed up to his expectations of even what was in NXT. Like I just feel like they just didn't know how to book him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if, to Dom's credit, I don't know if a faction would have been a good booking for him, but he's got to go against guys that can
something would have been better than nothing. Something would have been better than nothing. I mean, and I said it before.
Go ahead, Styx. Sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I've said it before. I'm not a big fan of Shinsuke and his work. I mean, I've called him slow style for so long now that but he did good work for. He still, despite me not really liking the way he worked, he did good work for the company. But as of late, he was gone for so long, and it seems like they don't have anything for him to do because they threw him in with this new persona, hoping that maybe it would spark something, and it never did. And unfortunately, his brother did pass, and that's, I think, going to cause a crease in that relationship and not a bad crease anyway, but, where he might want to be staying in Japan to be around his family because his brother's gone, help his family that he left behind. So New Japan, like I said, might be his landing spot in the near future.
I go back to, you had some of the greatest matches of his career against the likes of AJ Styles, and they were throwing down in New Japan, and on WWE, and even AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura didn't live up to the hype in a WWE setting that it did in New Japan. So I just think there's some stars that make a big name for himself and get on WWE's radar that WWE brings in to sell merch and make as much money off their name as they can, and they don't really care about how much this performer can go. And that's,
I'll be honest with you. There's a limit in WWE when it comes to storylines and script.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when they get certain people that the raw ability that some of these guys have, they don't go past that line of where they were when they were in the indies. And I can honestly say one thing. I'm not saying that AEW is better than WWE as far, but the wrestling, the last couple of things that AEW has put out, the friggin' matches have been friggin' stellar, man.
Go watch Dynamite last night.
I know, with the exception of Dynamite, but the last pay-per-view they had, those matches were stellar. And
really the only good match in that last pay-per-view was Toni Storm versus Mariah May.
Well, it was. You don't think that Will Spray, the friggin' that match? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little tired of Will Ospreay. Not that it wasn't a great match, but I think here's my thing with that AEW, and we'll get into it more in the reviews. I think the way it could have been a great pay-per-view. The wrestling, yes, the wrestling was good, but they booked it poorly because that Toni Storm versus Mariah May should have main evented that pay-per-view. It should have been the last match, and they messed it up by making Jon Moxley the main event.
I know. You know what? But that's the MO. Hey, look, how many times WWE has done that? They made main events of matches that shouldn't have been, and you left out the other matches. Look, at the end of the day,
that's why cards subject to change should be used more.
Exactly. But getting back to Shinsuke, I really he has a lot of potential, and if he does leave the WWE, he should use his full potential. Hopefully, his full potential can be used. And wish him the best. Like I wish him the best. Unless, like I said, if he wants to do less dates because Father Time is catching up, after so many bumps and bruises. Hey, WWE. Remember they were saying WWE is not a part-time company. All of a sudden, you still have people that are part-time. Roman Reigns.
A lot of part-timers.
Yeah. So, but that's the problem. I just you got to make storylines. But I think, like I said, I'm gonna keep going back. That he would have been great with a 3 or 4 man faction. That and championship wise, more of the U.S. Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, the Tag Team Championships, but the WWE Champion. Nah, I think more of those hardcore championship. If they bring that back, stuff like that. That would have been more his style. Just do that, and hopefully, maybe like I said, if he takes time off, maybe he comes back and he's rejuvenated to a point. Like I said, the loss of his brother, it's a heavy heart for him, and that's a big thing. Let him be with family and at the time and think things over, and maybe he'll come back and they'll have a fresh creative for him and can make things happen.
We need to get fresh creative for him because Shinsuke is a talent that I don't think WWE should waste, and they really got to right the ship on him and get him in a good storyline, good feud. mean, his feud with LA Knight wasn't bad, but it could have been better, I think.
There's many guys in that locker room that would have been great for that whole storyline with Shinsuke and LA Knight. You got to have like a 5-man melee for the thing, a storyline that every week they're fighting each other, for the top build, who's going to go for that championship. And you could have had a really good storyline with that. And it could have been worked really well at WrestleMania if they would have did it. But like I said, to do this match and lose the belt right there in a regular event, a regular primetime SmackDown, there's things that are going on, and that's why they decided to take the belt off him and do things. So, like I said, I wish him and his family the biggest condolences and prayers, and hopefully things can transpire later on.
Next up, WWE announces premiere date and guest list for Stephanie McMahon's Stephanie's Places. Stephanie McMahon will launch her unscripted series, Stephanie's Places, on ESPN this month. The show will premiere on March 26th and feature CM Punk as a guest. Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Charlotte Flair, Roman Reigns, Pat McAfee, The Undertaker, Triple H, and John Cena will be guests over the 10 episodes that will stream on ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. The official announcement was today. ESPN announces its newest ESPN original series, Stephanie's Places, will premiere March 26th. Produced by Peyton Manning's Omaha Productions in partnership with ESPN and WWE. The 10 episodes follows WWE icon Stephanie McMahon as she explores the pockets of America with help shaped from the journeys of so many of its most famous names in WWE history. WWE has been part of my life for as long as I can remember, Stephanie said. I'm looking forward to having viewers join me as we visit some of the most iconic stars of the past, present, and places of meaning for them, and hear how they overcame adversity to become who they are today. The world of WWE has never been more popular and exciting than it is right now, says Peyton Manning. There's no one better than Stephanie to tell these stories of WWE's greatest stars and uncover the moments that shaped them. So, episode 1 is the return of CM Punk on March 26th. Then in episode 2 is Cody Rhodes on April 2nd. Episode 3 is Rhea Ripley on April 9th. Episode 4 is Stone Cold Steve Austin on April 16th. Episode 5 is Charlotte Flair on April 23rd. Episode 6 is Roman Reigns at the Bloodline on April 30th. Episode 7 is Pat McAfee on May 7th. Episode 8 is The Undertaker on May 14th. Episode 9 is Triple H on May 21st. And episode 10 is John Cena, titled The Final Round, on May 28th.
You see, I'm going to tell you this, man. WWE and wrestling is at an all-time high. When you get stuff like this, out of the blue, under Peyton Manning's production company, Peyton Manning will go away. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are always commercials and all over the place. Peyton Manning is a funny dude. He is a funny dude when it comes to certain things. And like I said, wrestling is at an all-time high, and this would probably go off. You go to places, iconic places with the wrestler and their journey and stuff like that. People want to know that, like restaurants or a place where they grew up and stuff like that. I actually think that's a damn fantastic idea. When you find out about CM Punk, his return and all these things, and his journey and Roman Reigns and blah, blah. I think that's going to be a hit. I think that's a hit for ESPN, and I think it's a hit for WWE and the fans too, to see people outside the ropes, and their regular demeanors and who they are.
I agree, especially to hear about how they became who they are and what led them and the perseverance they faced and things like that. I think it's a great addition to go right along with everything that they're doing on like A&E with LFG and the Rivals. And I used to like to watch that show where was it Top Dollar would go around and look for different WWE artifacts and stuff. And That show was fun. So I think I agree with you. It's a definite winner for WWE, especially with the likes of Stephanie McMahon getting out there, and someone that you don't really see as
exactly
being associated with the company much anymore, to get out there and kind of be an ambassador for WWE and take on this different role, since she left, and try and help shape and change the current image that her father tarnished.
Yep.
Of the McMahon name. So I'm actually surprised after all that happened, she didn't start going by Stephanie Levesque and just distance herself from all that.
Look, regardless of the fact,
McMahon name is iconic.
It's iconic. Yes, her dad was a
Dr. Creepy Weirdo.
Exactly. But you can't blame her for her dad's doing.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying,
but I think
distance yourself from it.
I know. But I think her going out there and doing a talk show, because the status who she is, she don't need to freaking do anything. She can stay home and she makes money. She don't have to go out and do anything like that. But to put herself, knowing that the fans do enjoy who she is and the joys of her personality and stuff like that, to go out there and interview and have these live like interviews with people, to wrestlers that actually mean a lot. And I think her in the spotlight actually really propels WWE even more, because like I said, you got diehard fans of each wrestler that's going to be on this show, and people are going to want to see it. And to see Stephanie outside the ring, just to be a regular person, they're talking and doing this, that's going to be interesting. I know she's been on reality shows here and there and done things, but to be the lead in a type of reality type of a show that goes out and has a conversation with the iconic wrestlers that are now, and where they came from and how they got to where they are, which I think, like I said again, I think it's an awesome idea, and I think it's and I think also, I think you have to put Triple H in this too. I think Triple H probably sat there and said, listen, you should go out there and and do things. You're liked. People want to see you. I know you're not with the business anymore, but you can do something that's still part of the business and get a big fanfare because you're a good personality, and she's a good looking woman. So you got to look at the fact that she can go out there. Good looking woman. Yes, exactly. So she can go out there and she can have some class and some the WWE and stuff like that, and people watch that. So I think it's really cool. That
Styx, are you going to watch this?
I will be watching this. I'm kind of interested to see how she's going to do. I like the lineup they have, and like you said, that they've done another show like on A&E, that history of WWE, where they went around and either found artifacts for their museum. I like
those shows do good,
and they do. They're perfectly good shows. So I'm looking forward to this. I'll be watching this.
I think the interesting part of it is like a lot of her guests and her early guests are people that she's had massive interactions with in the business and storylines in the business. And I mean, people that have straight up hate her dad, and like
exactly.
CM Punk being the first episode, that's a draw. Yes. Cause it's CM Punk, and he could draw in a potato sack race, and then you got Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley. Those are two big names right there. Then the one I'm most excited about, honestly, is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
Because it'll be interesting. I like because just surely for like Don said, he's stunned that whole family, and he's hit Stephanie with a stunner or two.
A few times, exactly.
And The Undertaker. I want to see if they get in and actually talk about the feud between Undertaker and Stone Cold when they put her on the Undertaker symbol and he came out and saved her, and then they ended up putting Austin on it and hanging him from the ceiling. Like there was
was me when Vince McMahon was the part of the freaking Ministry of Darkness.
And her feuds when she was part of the Authority with John Cena. Like there's so much, I think, with this guest lineup in these first 10 episodes that is really intriguing enough to make most WWE fans tune in to check it out and just hear stories from the road and, hear how a girl who grew up in the business, interacts and pulls out information from people, her peers that she's been around.
Yep.
So,
and those are the kind of things that people, dare I say, our age, who have been watching the business for as long as we have, we get into that kind of stuff now because it's, this is like it's like a documentary for stuff that we actually like. We're not watching documentaries on World War I and World War II. We're watching documentaries on WWE.
Right.
That's what we want to watch.
So that's exciting. I can't wait for that. That again, what was April 26th kicks us off with CM Punker. And that's it for our news.
Yep.
Now we're going to get into our reviews of last week's SmackDown and this week's Raw, NXT, and by God, why do I do it to myself? AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
Fight, ignite tonight, wrestling fire burns so bright. In this review, we'll show what's true, breaking barriers, breaking through.
All right. Kicking us off tonight, as always, we are going to go back and review and cover the Friday Night SmackDown from Friday, March 7th, 2025. The show opened with Damian Priest being attacked backstage by Drew McIntyre. Then we got a big promo from Randy Orton. And Randy Orton came out and quickly addressed the John Cena heel turn, saying he can remember John Cena has always been on, as long as he can remember, John Cena has always been on the top of his profession. And now he's just the bottom for the Rock. I guess that gives a whole new meaning to the term rock bottom.
Bottom. Oh, yeah.
He proceeded to make retorts to Kevin Owens, saying that him and Kevin Owens used to be good friends. He respects him as a wrestler, but he busted his ass to get to WWE. But Kevin Owens, the man, there's a quote out there which never to underestimate a man's ability to destroy another man. That's Kevin Owens. That has Kevin Owens all over it. He will have he gave a pile driver to Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn for helping Roman Reigns, but that isn't the reason. Owens wanted the title and to stop Zayn from becoming bigger than him, but that does not have to be jealous. What does he not have to be jealous about? He has won every title in main event WrestleMania twice. Or continued on saying a year ago, he was given surgery on his career-ending neck injury. It was a back injury. But he fought hard to make his way back and to do something without being angry. Kevin Owens pissed him off, and when he looks down at him following an RKO, he felt something that he hadn't felt in over a decade. The voices started talking to him again. He's going to prove that Pat McAfee is only the second greatest punter in WWE.
Yeah, that's a storyline in the making right there. He's coming back. He's going to fight Kevin Owens in WrestleMania. And after all said and done with The Rock and Cena with Cody, yes, he will be attacking Cody eventually too.
Which is interesting because he came back and he said, it calls back to a lot of the John Cena promos. Like John Cena has basically called him a dick in a lot of promos, saying that Randy was always kind of a dick. He was always kind of a dick. So for him to be like, I'm coming back, I came back a little bit softer, didn't want to be a dick. And he's putting it in nice terms. I didn't want to be a dick. It's interesting that he referenced that, but we've been getting good stuff from Randy Orton lately. So
yeah, Randy Orton is a legend, man. He's a legend. He's definitely going to get his day to shine again for another championship down the road. But I think, is he going to catch a John Cena and be up there with John Cena with that? If John Cena gets his record break at 17th, I see him just being a step behind John Cena. He will get another championship. He will get that 16.
I think he gets to 16, and then
he'll get to 16. But I think right now there's a lot of different fish to fry. And first is Kevin Owens. And then I can see him getting caught up too in the whole Cena thing too down the road. And like I said, it's all going to come to a boil when he does attack Cody after so long. You know, it's inevitable. It's going to happen because
you think he's going to attack Cody, or you think he's just? I don't think he's going to turn on Cody. I think he's just going to win the WWE title, and I think he's going to get what'll be 14 or 15 at that point.
It'd be 15.
I think he's going to get it, and it's just going to be the nature of the business. Cody trying to regain what he lost to Cena. I don't think it's going to be a heel. I don't think we're going to see a Randy Orton heel turn on him. At least right now. I mean, of course, the story could change, but the direction we're going right now, it doesn't seem like there's a reason for him to turn heel on Cody. Unless something comes out where like there's more to the story between Cody and KO and why KO package pile drove Randy. That was Cody driven.
I think the whole storyline with the bloodline really was a great storyline. How everything propelled, how all of Cody's friends wound up going against him because, you know, the story, it took all these guys to help Cody finish the story, but only Cody to freaking goddamn tarnish it by teaming up with Roman, by doing all these things and all that hard work. These people put their blood, sweat, and tears. You know, the likes of Seth, the likes of
be good guy Cody.
Exactly. You know, all these guys. So I see the storyline going, and you don't think that Randy friggin' has some animosity towards Cody on that for doing that? Like, that's why I'm with the McIntyres. I'm with the Kevin Owens on why they're the way they are. You know,
Cody's the new Cena. He's Cena 2.0. He's the face of the company. He's Mr. Good Guy. He's Mr. Boy Scout. Like, there's a reason he did what he did, because he thought it was right. And I think Randy sees that. And even though Kevin didn't, Randy sees it. And I don't think if we get a Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes match for a title, it's going to be just because Cody, you know, earned it as a #1 contender or something along those lines. I don't think it's going to be a heel turn. I don't feel like Randy's in that place right now. And I don't feel like Cody is either.
But he has voices in his head again, man. You know, sometimes the voices tell him to do bad things. Yeah. You know, so you gotta look at it this way. Like we're living in a world now that John Cena's heel and freaking Randy.
Oh, I'm not saying that because I don't see it. It's not gonna happen. I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but hey, who knows? Maybe Cody turns heel. Maybe Cody turns heel down the road and goes after Randy. No, maybe that might be how Randy fights Cody.
Randy.
You know, so we'll see. But there's a lot of good story that's in this that could potentially come about. So we'll see down the road. Like I said, right now, Randy's not headed towards the championship anytime soon. He's got to finish Cody in WrestleMania, and I think maybe down the road he'll get that shot. You know, he'll get that shot because, like we're saying, that John Cena is going to win this belt. He's going to win this 17th at WrestleMania. He's going to beat Cody. So if that's the case, who's to say that he does win? Just say, how about he doesn't win and Cody maintains the belt?
I don't think he wins. I think for story purposes, he's gonna lose. I think I think for story purposes, Cena loses at Mania. I think Cody retains at Mania.
Okay.
But Styx, your thoughts on the Randy Orton promo?
I'm kind of 100% with what both of you have been saying. Randy coming back is a good thing for this for WWE. Do I want him going up right off and getting on Kevin Owens? I feel like we've had Kevin Owens for a long time now. Every time we turn around, it's Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens here, Kevin Owens there. But I'm all right. Whatever they want to do, I guess. As far as how he's going to be, I mean, if he says he's hearing voices in his head, that's a good indication that he's ready to go. And whatever is coming, he's going to give it just what he's always given it. So I'm interested and very happy to see him back.
Dom hears voices in his head too that tell him, "Damn, look at Jada Parker's booty."
That's true.
That led us to our first match of the night, which was Tiffany Stratton versus Piper Niven with Chelsea Green, with Tiffany Stratton picking up the win, which at the end of the match saw Charlotte Flair attack Tiffany Stratton, putting her in the figure 8. What do you guys think of that match? Tiffany Stratton versus Piper Niven.
You know what? I actually think it's pretty good. You have to have these jobber fights to move forward. It's just funny. Me personally, I think Piper is gonna wind up either turning good because she keeps losing. She keeps taking the bolt of all the things that are going on. But I actually
she keeps causing them to lose.
Yeah.
So one way or another.
Something's going to happen one way or the other.
Here's my problem with Chelsea Green in this United States Championship, right? Why is she defending it on NXT? They made these titles to be mid-card titles on the main roster to give these mid-card talent something to strive for. And why is it that Lyra Valkyria is going to defend it on like every episode of Monday Night Raw for the Intercontinental Championship, but the United States Championship is getting defended on NXT? When they already have the Women's North American Championship. Why? Does WWE not believe in their main roster, women's SmackDown roster?
I think that Chelsea Green should be fighting in all these pay-per-views. I think it should be pay-per-views. She is the first.
We've established that.
Again, the first Intercontinental Championship, Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think that should be more of a prestige championship. It should be pushed like a prestige championship, which it should be. And I think Piper should get more than just being friggin' the bodyguard of Chelsea Green. I think. I watched the promo. They had the promo with all the stars that are up now in the roster. She had a lot of potential too. I think that she was more, when she first came up, I think she had more of a better shot of being a better wrestler, and instead of just being a background character, and losing and just taking the hits and all these things. I'd like to see her go against Chelsea Green for that belt. Eventually.
Go ahead. Sorry. I mean,
I'm saying eventually she will, but I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing. Friggin' what's her face fighting the Chelsea Green 3 times in a row. Meechin. I'm tired of that. And then to lose again. Come on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked seeing Chelsea Green dressed as Cactus Jack.
Yeah, I know that was good. I know that was fun. That was definitely fun. That was great. But just isn't there a whole goddamn locker room full of women?
Yeah.
Come on.
Somewhere.
And now what's her name came back?
Piper Niven still very much is feeling the effects of the Vince McMahon effect, I'll call it. Because when she was in NXT UK, she was booked well and booked against Toni Storm a lot. And then she came over to WWE main roster, and Vince changed her name to Dewdrop. And she's kind of just been a jobber ever since. Like it feels like we have to get her away from that, and she's got to get away from Chelsea Green and just kind of be that. Nia Jax is what Piper Niven should be.
Yes.
Piper Niven should be that Nia Jax level talent, where Piper Niven, I feel like, has, if not more talent than Nia Jax in the ring. So what the push they're giving Nia Jax is the push Piper Niven needs.
Yeah.
But
agreed. I definitely agree. I think she should get that type of thing. And she's dedicated too. She she comes in, she does what she has to do, but she should have a championship shot. And I hope, I hope going into WrestleMania, maybe Piper fights Chelsea Green in WrestleMania. We'll see.
So we got another we got a segment with Naomi and Bianca, where Bianca's confronting Naomi about the allegations, and Naomi admits that it was her and has this whole breakdown about how she did it for her, and that she can't wait for Jade to stab her in the back. And then Jade Cargill shows up, comes out there, whoops Naomi around the arena again, and forced Naomi to release a tweet that said, "Once my neck heals, I'm gonna beat your dusty ass."
You know what the funny thing is? Actually, that was a really cinnamon moment right there. That segment right there. Up until she said, "I did it for you, Bianca."
Yeah,
I did it for you. I did it for you, Rock.
It's all for you, Damian.
I like the fact that they're going back, tweeting back and forth, and she freaking Jay Cargill tweeted to Rikishi, "I'm going after your daughter. I'm doing this." And meanwhile, Naomi has a lot of Samoan sisters that are out there. So I don't know, Jay Cargill. Hey, listen, it should be an interesting fight. That's going to be, I guess that's WrestleMania right there. That's going to be, unless they finish this fight, unless they really find out that it was Bianca that did this all along. That was her plan. But like I said, when I sent you something earlier, in the chat, maybe about a few days ago, that Asuka is trolling everybody, but she's trolling. I think that would be a really cool thing that Asuka and what's her name? Singh. What's the name of the other girl? Kairi Singh. That they were the masterminds and turn the story around. Like you didn't expect that. They were the ones that actually got Naomi to do that, and kind of like really make something, because we're all saying, yeah, Bianca's doing this, Bianca do that. You know what? Now I kind of think maybe she's not. I still think that it could possibly that she still has something to do with it, but part of me is saying that she's not, because I think it should be someone that you don't expect all of a sudden comes out and goes, yeah, we're the one that orchestrated it. That would be actually a cool storyline. Who knows what this is going to hold, how the story is going to go. But I think the story is going to be pretty quick. I don't think they're going to drag out the story that much.
Let's hope not. And
we'll see what happens. I think Naomi is going to play with that neck issue for a minute, and meanwhile she's going to attack Jay Cargill. When she sees it, like next time, I think it's like she's going to go around with that, saying that she's hurt, but meanwhile she's not really hurt with that. But we'll see. Interesting stuff.
We got a backstage segment with Charlotte Flair saying she told Tiffany Stratton she'd be coming, and it's her fault for not listening. It seems the women's division has gotten soft since she was away. B-Fab interrupts to say no one wants to bow down to her anymore, but Flair disagrees. The Queen will see B-Fab in the ring in Barcelona.
You know what's going to happen? She's going to win.
Actually, of course Charlotte's going to win.
I would love to see Tiffany come out and interfere, and B-Fab pulls up the win. Make it intriguing. Because I think B-Fab should have that one stigma of winning against the Queen. Have that. Just to like change it up a little bit, because we all know it's going to be one of those matches where, yeah, she's going to win, and then Tiffany's going to come out later on and sneak attack her in Barcelona or something like that. I think it should be where B-Fab wins.
I don't see Charlotte Flair losing until Mania. They're going to try to build her up to look impossible to beat, so that way it's more effective for Tiffany when Tiffany eventually beats her at Mania.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that it's like change things up a little bit. I like to see little things. You don't have to go into WrestleMania undefeated, this and that. Look, we all know that Tiffany is gonna maintain. You hope you don't take it off of Tiffany and give it to fucking goddamn. You hope they don't give it to Charlotte. I hope not. That'd be the biggest mistake that they did. They should let her hold this thing. It's like Money in the Bank. So then then you get a wrestler that's gonna win the Money in the Bank and go after her. I want to see her hold this belt for a long time because, she deserves where she is now. To build her up now and go to WrestleMania and then all of a sudden give it to somebody that just came back from injury that shouldn't have won the Rumble. Let it drag out. Let it keep it for a while. And but
I just think it's better storytelling to build up Charlotte at this point and make Charlotte look like she's a Goliath, an unstoppable force. You could even have Tiffany start losing where she starts doubting herself a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just make Charlotte look like this unstoppable force. So when they go into the WrestleMania matchup and Tiffany beats Charlotte, I think it's that much more beneficial to Tiffany in her career and kind of separating her a little bit from that trope that she's nothing more than a glorified Flair copycat.
Yeah.
What do you think, Styx?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think building up Flair. She just came back. Nobody really kind of wants her in that position where she's at right now, as far as the fans go, or not. Not everybody anyway. And by building her up and making her, like you say, this like unbeatable person, it plays into that storyline of her going up against Tiffy, where Nia Jax thing was kind of the, I don't want to call her the female Andre the Giant, but she's the bigger than life persona for the female crowd, for the female, for the women's locker room. So, and then Flair coming back, she's always had that heel persona. She's always been kind of the big girl in the ring, my daddy was Rick, I'm Charlotte. What do you got to say about it? That kind of stuff. So
yeah,
having her lose, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
You
could have her do a draw. You can draw once or in there somewhere, but not lose.
We saw Braun Strowman versus Solo Sikoa, with Braun Strowman picking up the win via DQ as Tama Tonga attacks Strowman mid-match, but he's fought back. Jacob Fatu enters and has a stare down with Strowman. The monster comes to blows in the ring. It spills into the outside where Strowman chokeslams Fatu off the announce table, but Fatu quickly recovers and they fight in the crowd. They find some production crates and Fatu lifts Strowman up, but is countered and chokeslammed through the table below. After a couple of minutes, Jacob Fatu recovers, but the fight is done for now.
The Braun Strowman thing, they should make that man an invincible guy, man. And look, and you have to make Jacob Fatu look good because, he, in a way, I think the WWE holds him back too. He has so much, he dives off freaking top of balconies and freaking dives off the ring and all that stuff. They should have him, it's hard. I feel bad for Strowman, man. Strowman is a big dude that should not be losing the way he does half the time, Like I always say, like the Andre the Giants, the Big Shows, those guys should have owned all the titles, man. They're just too way big to figure not to lose, But Braun Strowman needs to go back to a gimmick to the Wyatt Six, man. I don't know, man. That's another thing. I think of the Wyatt Six, and I'm pissed with that because even though that Bo Dallas ain't there, they can have some video packages. They can freaking put that damn group, have somebody come out, do something. They hold them back because you don't have Bo Dallas, man, and that it sucks. So he could have been part of that group, went back to that group, and did something because they're unutilizing him because he actually should be a better wrestler than what he is.
Well, now they've got Little Miss Bliss, so
yep, I know. Hey, and that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen eventually, but I don't know. They should use the wrestlers that are part of it, even though the leader's not there. have Bliss take over, and then later on you can have Bo come back and saying, I'm the leader of this faction. And then Bliss is like, I don't think so. And have some crazy stuff like that. I don't know, man. They just don't utilize the what they need to use. How to use things. Especially a group like that. But
LA Knight sent a message to Shinsuke Nakamura. One moment, one time. It's all it takes to smack him back to factory reset. We are standing in the rebirth of the title reign. He had dealt with snake attacks and missed, and he's standing tall. Old Glory, he's needed better representation. And after this is done, we can all pledge allegiance to the United States champion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got a street fight for the Women's United States Championship. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Michin, with Chelsea Green retaining with an assistance from a returning Alba Fire, which is, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no.
Alba Fire is apparently pledging her allegiance to Chelsea Green.
That's why I think Pepper Niven's on her way out.
That's a potential thought. Cody Rhodes made his way to the ring. Before he can say anything, the crowd chants, Cena sucks. Cody wonders what you say when your 4-year-old looks up and asks, what happened to your face? So all he could do was tell her he ran into a wall. And the final boss of Rock, his associate Travis Scott, and his WrestleMania 41 opponent, John Cena, designed the wall. Back in the day, he drove Cena from show to show for 2 years and learned a lot. He's a hero. One day he will tell his daughter that what actually happened. He will tell her that Ultimate Hero gave up. We would all love to know why. If he knows John Cena, he will know it will be well-crafted speech. And when he's done talking, he'll feel bulletproof and satisfied. There's no justification for what he did. For those in the room tonight, there was one place his father was worried to perform in, but one day Cody was wrestling for Money in the Bank, and the fans chose him. And again, while trying to finish the story, they cheered for him again. At WrestleMania 40, John Cena pointed at the title and told him it gets heavier every day. He is now holding the championship, but it isn't heavy enough. Cena may think his successor may have to look like him and act like him, but he's not the last of his kind. At WrestleMania 41, if he wants some, come get some. So it was a good little promo, pretty typical standard promo from Cody Rhodes at this point. Then we saw Drew McIntyre versus Big Jim Uso, with Drew McIntyre picking up the win. Damian Priest bonding said to Drew McIntyre after the match, he gets as much offense as possible until officials hold them back. Ahead of their match, Shinsuke Nakamura tells LA Knight that he will beg for mercy and he will find none, which led us to our main event, the United States Championship match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight, with LA Knight picking up the win to become a 2-time United States champion. LA Knight, yeah.
LA Knight 2-time. You know what? Look, I said they were utilizing a freaking LA Knight too at the time. Making him like just here and there. They had that big push. I don't think he'll ever get a chance to go for the championship again down the road. There's just too many people ahead of him. The U.S. Championship is basically I think the best championship for him. Or like I said, LA Knight sells out, goes with the Rock's new corporation, and like I said, you bring in Ian Page, and you have the tag team champions go after the tag team championships. But other than that, LA Knight is good for the U.S. Championship, and that should be interesting. So we'll see.
Thoughts, opinions on and ratings for last week's Friday Night SmackDown. Dom, you want to start us off?
I
speak at once.
Yeah, I thought I was going to give John 60 the floor for a second, but I think it was a solid, solid wrestling. Like I said, I'm not going to give anything lower than a B plus. I think that it deserves at least a B plus. Look, the main characters aren't there. You want to see The Rock. You want to see Cena. You want to see that. And the same thing like Roman Reigns. You want to see the Roman Reigns is show up with the bloodline. So when you don't get that, it's really it's a great show, but it's not an A show. B plus I think is the best that it could be. Going to the European tour. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, B plus. That's about it. That's all I have about that.
Yeah. Styx, my boy.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit, but that's not gonna change. My disagreement isn't gonna change my rating. I think you can have an A+ show without The Rock in them, but yeah, you do want them there. But I felt on the whole the show was a solid B+. I mean, you take what you've got and you have to work with it. If you can get an A+ show out of what you have, you get an A+ show out of what you have.
Of course.
Of course. You're not always going to have The Rock. You're not always going to have Cena. These guys are going to be, we said it already. They're part-timers. They're here, they're gone. Cena and Rock do movies. They're gone. You got to have the guys that are in your locker room step up to make that better.
I know, Styx, but they're keeping it. They're keeping it status quo. They're keeping it at a good B every week. So, that's my opinion. Right?
Gonna say SmackDown for me was a B-. I'm gonna disagree with both of you. Really the only good thing about SmackDown to me was I kind of enjoyed the Chelsea Green Michin Matt Street fight, but I take points away from it because I don't need to see Chelsea Green Michin 4 or 5
exactly
at this point.
Right.
It felt like a rehash. It felt like the same people wrestling each other again. There really wasn't a lot of new, fresh stuff. I agree with Dom. Like, we saw the return of the OTC, who's now apparently the YTC on Monday night. He didn't show up on his own show of SmackDown. There was no Rock, no Cena. Cody gave his speech in the best way he can. They're going to expect a lot for Cody to carry this storyline in the next month or so. They're not even bringing Cena to SmackDown. Cena is coming to Raw to address what he did.
So apparently the next 3 weeks is supposed to be Raw.
Yeah.
So, Rock, they said Cena's going to be on the next 3 European tour episodes of Raw, which is kind of crazy. If you really think about it, you're gonna have your Raw championship, your SmackDown championship, and the opponent that's gonna fight on Raw television. On friggin' Netflix, which it's a big plus for friggin' Netflix, and a big plus for Raw too. But it's kind of odd that you're gonna diminish your SmackDown show, not have your main storyline that's going on with SmackDown.
And let's not forget, I'll remind people as we go through and we get to the Raw review that Monday Night Raw this Monday, if you want to watch it live on Netflix, it's got a 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific start time, because they are in Brussels. Man, I feel like we should. I would love to hop on an emergency show and talk about talk about everything Cena. That's going to be the driver, man. Cena's music, Cena's heel. Look, what does heel Cena look like?
You know what? We could, if you want, Monday night, if you want to do an hour after, we could do it Monday. Well, Monday, as soon as the show, I get home at 3:00 after work. But what I could do is we can get home and after the show, we can come on really quick on Monday. Really quick.
We'll talk about it because I don't want it to be, if it's some letdown, I don't want to, get all puffy about it. If it's just normal Cena comes out doing his normal shtick and wonders
just
why.
A heads up. It's 3:00 this Monday, 4:00 next Monday, and 3:00 the Monday after that. So they're going to be 3 early episodes of Raw, 3 weeks in a row.
That's crazy.
So just to give a heads up on that, it's going to be interesting.
Of course, it's Netflix, so you can watch it at your leisure. But if you don't want to get it spoiled for you, because I'm sure the internet's going to explode when we finally get our look at heel John Cena.
Is he going to be?
Remember those early times?
Is he going to have the military haircut or a bald head? I think he's gonna shave his head like he not shave his head bald, but the military haircut that he had the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah, I think so too. I
That's
think he's gonna have the flat top on.
Yep.
I don't know. I think he'll be more like Dr. Thugonomics, like buzzed head. I don't think he's gonna go back to ruthless aggression flat top Cena.
No, I think you never know. He might go to that.
Maybe he just comes out and he's completely bald, but he's just got some bangs.
Oh, just
a couple of bags.
What's Tintin? He has a hair like Tintin.
Yeah, there you go.
The front end.
Like Tintin. That's good. That's good. I like that. That would be great.
AEW Revolution. I don't know if either of you watched AEW Revolution or not. AEW Revolution. We'll just run through this real quick. We saw the Commander and Hologram defeat Blake Christian and Lee Johnson by pinfall. There was an 8-man tag team match. Daniel Garcia and the Undisputed Kingdom, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly defeated Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, Charlie Bravo, Lee Moriarty, and Captain Sean Dean by submission. We got a trios match. Big Boom AJ. Jesus Christ, I don't know why he's still wrestling with them. and his son, Big Justice, and the conglomeration, Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe, defeated Johnny TV, MXM Collection, Mansoor and Mansoor Madden, Mansoor and Mason Madden by pinfall. Lots of shenanigans ensued in that match, let me tell you. Boy, because, you need Big Boom AJ there.
Oh, yeah.
We saw Hangman Adam Page defeat MJF by pinfall. I want to get your opinions on this, boys. Is that I heard some stuff today. I want to say one of the ex-pro wrestlers, or I can't remember where I saw it or who it was, said that MJF and Adam Page will not be big superstars unless they go to WWE. That AEW will never make them the type of superstars WWE would. Do you agree with that, or do you think that MJF is on top of the professional wrestling world despite not being in WWE?
I actually think he's on top of the top of the wrestling world. I think they used him. Come on, we had heel MJF, then we had good MJF, and then he came back, got hurt, he became heel again. I think that, look, between AEW and WWE, WWE has a different way of presenting their top stars. Yes, MJF would have a bigger bright circle in WWE, because of the WWE as a whole compared to AEW. The AEW, yes, he's a huge star in AEW, but I think he is on top of the wrestling thing. I think that's as far as he can go with AEW. I think
AEW is a good place for MJF.
Yes.
And it allowed him to come out because and an MJF, WWE MJF, where they probably want to water him down, is nothing more than a glorified Miz, right?
Yes, but I actually think the Miz is great. No, the Miz is great. The Miz has his thing, but I think that MJF has a lot more than the Miz. The Miz is awesome on the mic. Yeah, he has great mic skills on the mic. He's come a long way. MJF has a good mic thing, but I think MJF is a much better wrestler than the Miz.
Oh, I agree, but as I'm saying, like that's really what the Miz is known for, is his mic skills, and so they get compared a lot in that. But I just think a WWE MJF is nothing more than a glorified Miz. Him in AEW, and them allowing him to be top level and be as outlandish and say what he says really helps build that MJF character.
Of course. I think him as a heel is much better than him being good.
I agree.
Because some guys are better as heels than good guys. So.
What do you think, Styx?
Yeah, I think MJF is a perfectly fine heel where he's at. I don't know what he would become in WWE. I mean, he could get even better. He could stay the same. They might try and lessen him up. But I think where he's at is the right fit for him. I think he's the top man on their totem pole when it comes to their on the mic guys, in the ring guys. I think he's good for AEW. I think should stay where he is.
Let us know in the comment section below what you think. Would MJF or Hangman Adam Page benefit more and become bigger stars in WWE than they are in AEW? Or do you think it wouldn't matter? Then we got a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné defeats Momo Watanabe by submission. I think it's Watanabe, but I'd like to say Watanabe. Then we had a singles match to determine the number one contender at the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland defeated Ricochet by pinfall.
Yo, Ricochet is getting no love over there. It's funny. I seen a
Zero
promo.
love.
Yeah.
Zero
I
love.
seen a promo, and they're talking. They get to him, and he's about to say something. They cut him off. They go to somebody.
The battle for the pajamas that he had there.
Oh man,
Swerve getting no love.
that's funny.
We had a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP, defeated the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd, and Truth Magnum by pinfall. God, AEW has some of the worst wrestling names. We had a Falls Count Anywhere match for the AEW Women's World Championship. The match that should have been the main event, Timeless Toni Storm defeated Mariah May by pinfall after they beat the holy hell out of each other.
Yep.
There is a shot that I have never seen in professional wrestling that literally gave me Rock-esque goosebumps and sent shivers down my spine. It's an over-the-head shot of Toni Storm just laying there flat out in the middle of the ring, debris all around her, and her face just covered in blood to the point where you couldn't even recognize Toni Storm.
I know.
If it wasn't for that absolute dump truck that Toni Storm has, I would have never have guessed that was Toni Storm laying there.
Hey, true. You know, that was definitely a crazy match. Freaking sharded glass all over the place and freaking just stabbing each other. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Insane. Should have easily could have been one of the best women's matches of the year in all of professional wrestling. Should have main invented this. But no, after that, we got the singles match for the AEW International Championship. Kenny Omega defeated Kanosho Takeshita by pinfall to win the title. And then we got a steel cage match. Will Ospreay defeated Kyle Fletcher by pinfall.
That was a good match. I can say that. That was a fantastic match. I thought it was good. You know what? Like I said, the crazy shit that they do, I think that was a wild match too. You know,
it was. I mean, I like Ospreay.
Come on,
I'm kind
doing
of
the Spanish. What's it called? The Spanish. The move that he did off the freaking top of the goddamn thing. Yo, dude, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't feel like we're getting. I just feel like, I think for me, I always will prefer New Japan Will Ospreay to what he's doing in AEW, but that's
well, let me ask you a question. Do you think Will Ospreay would do the same thing in WWE?
I think Will Ospreay in the WWE would be very watered down. I don't think WWE is going to let him take he's going to have his high risk spots because they let Kevin Owens do it. They let everybody do it, but I think they would kind of ground him. Because if you notice, like Penta, they've kind of grounded Penta a little bit. His high flyingness it's still there, but it's not as like, the same thing with Jacob Fatu. I think he would be a watered down into where his style would come across more like a Jacob Fatu's than.
Like special events, they'll do like that one big move.
Yeah, he'll have his one big spot every pay-per-view that he wrestles in where he gets that holy shit moment. But I don't know. I like Will Ospreay, but I think they could be doing a lot better things with him in AEW. Yeah. And then we had our singles match for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley versus Cope. Christian Cage cashed in his world title opportunity during the match. aka his Money in the Bank briefcase without Money in the Bank briefcase. And Moxley managed to score a submission victory over Cage to retain the title. After the match, Swerve Strickland jumped from the crowd onto Mox to take him out and send a message. Again, I like Jon Moxley. I like Jon Moxley's stuff coming when he was first coming to AEW, but he's kind of getting boring. He's kind of getting very repetitive. A lot of the same moves and carrying around the AEW championship in a briefcase. That Death Riders group he's part of is not doing it. It's not hitting. They need to end that storyline.
It was in the beginning, it was intriguing, but I guess, for some reason, a lot of things that go on. Remember the Devil, the Man in the Mask, when freaking Michael Cole. You mean
Adam Cole?
Michael Cole. Adam Cole was the Devil with the MJF. That was a great thing, and then all it freaking fizzled out. It's just Adam Cole, Michael Cole, freaking goddamn Jericho. Freaking too many Coles.
Again, my only takeaway from Revolution is if you only want to watch one match from Revolution, please make it the Hollywood ending match with Toni Storm versus Mariah May, and just watch those women perform and just beat the holy hell out of each other and put on a professional wrestling show. It's the first time in wrestling where I've seen where there was so much blood. I was like, oh man, that's almost a little too much blood.
No, well,
and I was going to put Toni Storm in the thumbnail in the background this week, but then when I was like, ooh man, like that's so much blood. I don't want YouTube to pull down the video for being graphic, even if I put like a black and white filter over it. It was a lot.
It's like, remember when Stone Cold had the blood dropping down his face that time, and that one match, kind of like that. Look,
it was way worse than that because
but it was just, you think about it, fucking glass. It's just crazy. Yeah, and it was a good match. I'm telling you, she is the best part of AEW right now. That's a loss for WWE because WWE had her. They could have made this character, and she did and I love the fact that she does have she is that mic presence and that presence of who she is. Everybody, her promos are great, and she's a great wrestler. And that's the one thing WWE. That's something that WWE misses out. And they definitely lose one or two down the road, when it comes to wrestlers. So,
and she makes it work. I just don't think WWE stuck with her long enough. I mean, shout out to AEW for sticking with her and letting her do her thing. And I think that the gimmick of timeless Toni Storm, the gimmick itself, wouldn't work with anybody but Toni Storm.
Exactly.
There's just something about her that makes that work. And chef's kiss to it, and I'm sad to see this probably be the finish of her feud with Mariah May as she's moving on to other contenders. But what a finish it was, and it definitely should have been the main event of that card. All right, moving on to Monday Night Raw. Big Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden, Dom's backyard.
Yep.
Dom's like, I live so close. I was sitting on the toilet taking a dump, and I could watch the matches.
So I can look out my window and I can see Jada Parker.
Yeah.
That's more true nowadays than ever before.
All right.
What happened? What
Did you say, Styx? He didn't hear you.
I knew.
I say you said about watching it on the toilet. I thought that's more true nowadays than ever before.
Yeah, he didn't have to watch it on TV though. He could just look out his window while he was doing his business and feel the crowd. He was yeeting from home on the toilet when he could hear Jey Uso's music reminiscing outside of Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Our first match of the night was Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller with Austin Theory, with Jey Uso picking up the win. A-Town Down Under attacked Jey Uso after the match, but he managed to fend them off. Gunther blindsided Jey and locked him in a sleeper hold until he passed out.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think this whole thing is getting stale with Jey Uso and Gunther? Because I can be honest with you, just one thing. I think it's one-sided, if you really think about it. Look, I have an idea that they should do. that I think that would be a pretty good idea that can actually escalate and elevate it to a like going into WrestleMania could be a dire straight situation, because I think that look, if Gunther loses, he lost the in Jeddah, he lost the to Cody, and then he also lost to Sami Zayn the year before. If he loses, you're going to take away that stigma on who Gunther is. If he loses on these things, you got to make. He was supposed to be strong. If you would have won that fight in Saudi Arabia with Cody, you could have solidified him even more on who he is. You know, you're fighting. All right, this is the third time he's fighting Jay. Yes, I want to see Jay win. I think Jay's an awesome. He deserves it. But I also think that they're not pushing him to a point where he has to go back to his bloodline days that Gunther has gotten in his head. And, that type of a thing where when he with the bloodline, where everybody, the yeeting stops and he has to go and really fight and get back that crowd. Gunther should do something, do a home invasion where they attack Rikishi. Do something where freaking Jay is messed up in the head and really messed up in the head. You got to make Gunther look like the freaking giant that he should be. And like I said, him losing to Sami Zayn last year for the Intercontinental Championship, now to lose his championship, the freaking Jey Uso this year, that's going to really take a lot out of Gunther. So you got to if Gunther can be more diabolical and do something crazy to get Jey off his game, the yeeting stops for a moment. And if he does win, you make him win, and there's a big stake in line. See, me personally, I would have Gunther win. Do all that shit, have Jey really messed up, and still win the WrestleMania. You got to make him that like, oh, this guy's is friggin' like hard to beat, because if he loses, and which most likely is, that's what they're aiming for, that stigma of Gunther being who he is going to be out the window. You got to make him do something diabolical. You got to make him do something that really captures the attention. Like, holy shit, this guy's nuts. You could, like I said, bring Rikishi into it. Like I said, at the same time, you attack Rikishi, and then Jay is like, yo, now you're attacking my family, or you're doing all these things, something that's going to get him crazy, where it's no more fun and games. No more fun and games doing the yeet thing. The yeet thing is great, but take that away for a little bit. You got to make him build it back up. So, I don't know. It's just me. I just think that the storyline is getting a little dull on that, and they could do something else.
Yeah. I would think if you're going to push him to where he's like diabolical, like you say, you have Uso, getting over on him a couple of times, whether it's in a match or after a match that Gunther has, where he feels like he has to do those things to make Uso think that he's not going to win. That where he's come at him now. Having him do it without that, and then lose, and then he's going to lose. But that's what he's doing now, because now he's coming at him after the match, putting him in that sleeper, and he's been doing that consistently. And now, then at WrestleMania he'll lose. And that's the thing. Like I just said, let's get him played out. There's got to be more. There should be more layers to the storyline than just doing this. So I don't know.
I don't think they need to, and here's why I think. All right. Gunther has the upper hand right now. All right. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to do this, because right now he's got one up on Jey Uso. What they're doing right now is they're making Gunther look strong by Jey not being able to fend him off. Right. So it's making those impossible odds. They're building those impossible odds. They're going to start layering and getting those layers where you're going to see Jey Uso start doubting himself. Much like I said with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte. He's lost to Gunther 3 times now. He can't fend him off. He can't stop Gunther from attacking him. He can't stop Gunther from attacking other people. He's going to start doubting himself. The more people are going to start doubting himself. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing other wrestlers, his brother included, coming to him and go, man, I don't know what you're doing. Why you think you can beat Gunther? I don't, you're going to have people doubting him. They're going to build Jey up so that when he wins at Mania, it's like David slayed Goliath, It's this big uproar. People are going to go crazy in Vegas for it. I think the minute you have Gunther go down the road of attacking Rikishi or anything like that, you're making Gunther look like a desperate man. And he doesn't need to be a desperate man. He's got the one up. He's got everything he needs. And I think the draw of Gunther is more not how it's more how he gets up after he gets knocked down. He lost the title to Sami Zayn. What did that do? He instantly skyrocketed into the World Heavyweight Championship picture. So it's like, what happens now? Okay, Gunther loses to Jey. He's had a long run. Okay, Gunther loses to Jey. Now maybe he goes after Cody. Maybe he inserts himself somewhere in this feud between Cody and Cena. It's about how they push Gunther forward rather than, him being beaten down. And I just think personally, the minute he goes and attacks Rikishi, Jay's family, and brings his family into it, that's desperation mode. That is an act of a desperate man. And that's kind of like the Kevin Owens thing. Is he was a desperate man at that point. He had nothing to lose. The fact that he went to Sami Zayn's house, that was the act of a desperate man. And I think that's what, if he attacks Rikishi or brings anyone of Jay's family members into it, that's what it looks like, is that instantly puts all the desperation on him instead of Jey.
Yeah, but it's still like, if you really want to get into the psyche of Jay's head, you do something like that. Hey, look, Jay, I'm here at your dad's house.
Don't you think he's already there? Don't you think he's already in his head?
Yeah, but
how much further in his head do they have to go?
More to really get him out of his game even more. Hey, look, I don't know.
I don't know how much more you need to be out of your game, knowing that I've tried 3 times to beat this man and I couldn't do it. This man can have his way with me at any moment, and I can't do anything to stop it. Nobody can do it. I can't do anything to stop him taking out anyone else. Look at it. Like, Otis came to him on Monday Night Raw and apologized to him because Otis told him he'd have his back, and he didn't. He can't protect Tozawa. He can't protect Otis. He can't stop anybody from.
I like to see his brother come into the fold. Jimmy, and lose to him too. Saying, look, I got your family, your brother. Nobody can beat me. Yeah, you're right.
I would be okay with that if he was like, nobody in this family could beat me. And he's like, I'll even prove it by beating the brakes off your brother. And he goes to SmackDown, or Jimmy comes to Raw, and Gunther beats Jimmy up. Like, I'd be okay with that too. I think just going after Rikishi and going outside of the main talent is the act of a desperate man. And I don't think they want to paint Gunther. Like, if Gunther was on this like Baron Corbin level losing streak and he went after him, that would make sense. It's just, I don't think the story right now doesn't need him to go after.
Yeah, Gunther does not need to look desperate right now.
Right.
Because he's not. He's got the upper hand.
It's on easy street. So far, so much so, like, that's what they're telling. They're telling the story of his arrogance is going to get the better of him. Because he's so arrogant that he's supposedly hand-picking his own opponents and picking on the likes of Tozawa, But not to discredit you, Don. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to come up with something that's good. I'm just saying that I feel like it's just getting a little, because, like I said, I already know. Didn't I tell you that I think he's going to win? He was going to win the Royal Rumble. He's going to go and win the championship. I just want to see other things. Because it's like every week.
Don wants to see them fight in a grocery store.
Yeah, I want to see
like
some
Austin Booker T.
That actually was good.
Hit him with a bedpan.
That's funny. I just want to see something else, like outside, like storyline that takes it somewhere else. Like you said, he can go to SmackDown, beat up Jimmy, and go, yeah, your family can't beat me. maybe I should ask your father. Maybe I should go and beat your father, type of stuff like that, because the two sons can't do it, and start saying some stuff. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that could be that Rikishi does get mentioned down the road before we go to WrestleMania.
He could start using Rikishi again and be like, you can't beat me. Maybe your dad could have beaten me, or he could use Rikishi in that way to taunt Jimmy. But I think beating him up and going there is an act of a desperate man, and Gunther doesn't really need to go that route at this point in time. Who's to say that doesn't change moving forward? But at this point in time, I don't think that's in Gunther's character, because he's very arrogant, he's very brash, he's very much full of himself. So right. Getting back to Raw, Logan Paul makes an appearance. He doesn't associate with guys like AJ Styles. He more so relates to stars like The Rock and John Cena. He'll do anything to get on top. Cody Rhodes was dumb for not accepting The Rock's offers. Logan Paul would have taken him up on it. Good call on talking about that, Dom, but I still think there's a little heat on Logan and The Rock's eyes for the whole Japan thing. He spotted Andrew Schultz in the crowd and asked him to give him a microphone. Schultz is here to see the steel cage match with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. He isn't here to see Logan Paul. He's here to see real wrestlers like AJ Styles. Paul attacks Schultz and drags him into the ring. AJ Styles makes the save and hits Paul with a flying elbow, which I feel like Logan Paul had Schultz in that, I want to hold for a lot longer than he should have. It was very clear that it almost felt like AJ was supposed to come out a lot sooner.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
As Paul walks away, Styles demands he gets back in the ring. Logan Paul doesn't listen, so Styles celebrates with Schultz.
Paul might have rushed that cue too.
That could be too, yeah.
To where they go, you got to go out now because he's set up to where you're supposed to be. So drop the music.
Then we saw a tornado tag match between Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio of the LWO versus Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston in the New Day, with the New Day picking up the win with an assist from a guy in a U.S.-themed Lucha Libre mask.
Instead of saying thank you, gracias.
And there's a lot of speculation going back to Dom's dirt sheets that was actually Rey Fénix under the mask. They're saying that their intent is to team Fénix and Penta back together as the Lucha Brothers in WWE, but to pull off the gimmick that was actually Rey Fénix under the Chad Gable mask instead of it being Chad Gable.
That's right. He goes, I saw it too. You? And all of a sudden the guy goes, yeah, security, New York security.
Yeah. I was like, if Dom was there, he would have been all over it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That was funny, though.
Yeah.
But, I think they ended that too fast, too. I think they should have had that last a little bit longer with him going out, trying to find the secrets and stuff like that, and then have him come back. I think that was just too soon.
Yeah, I agree. I think, he should have been studying. We should have got some vignettes of him in the ring and since WWE owns Lucha Underground now. I think Styx showed that you could have him in a Lucha Underground or in the Lucha Underground like they do the NXT Underground stuff.
Yep.
He could have been in an underground wrestling match, learning the dark arts of Lucha Libre before coming back. I think I agree 100% with you that it was a little too quick on this whole dark arts of Lucha Libre thing, because you're telling me you can learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre in 5 days?
Yeah, exactly. And you get the box from that old guy.
Yeah.
Well, he said the mask is a magic mask.
A magic mask.
It's inviting him with the.
What is he supposed to be? What is he supposed to be in Spider-Man comics? The freaking Lucha Libre. They found the mask.
I was gonna say, what is he, Doctor Strange, or this mask make him the sorcerer?
Bad Bunny was supposed to play the luchador character, the Spider-Man El Luchador. Whatever his name is. Come on. Yeah. With the magic mask. I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, they should have just held that out a little bit longer. It would have been fun, but you know what? They did what they had to do.
Backstage, Dominic Mysterio tells Finn Balor that he got him an IC title match against Braun Breaker. He just needs to confirm it with Adam Pearce. Finn Balor hugs and thanks him for it.
Did you see his face?
Cody Rhodes makes his way to the ring. Yeah. He's here because Madison Square Garden is the cathedral and the center of the WWE universe. His opponent, John Cena, will not be here tonight, apparently. It was an easy decision. The fans begin chanting, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." So Cody encouraged them to do it more. Best for business. No one defined best for business that no one better defined best for business than John Cena. But there's over 17K people in here tonight who would say the business has changed. Here is a state for you. 17, that doesn't happen, but he will get the heartbreaking chance to beat his hero in his last chance. Cody Rhodes is the captain now.
I am the captain now. That was a good promo. A great promo. I enjoyed that promo.
But like to your point you made a little bit ago, I'm starting to feel like you're going to see Cody Rhodes on Raw and on SmackDown to carry this feud, because John Cena is going to be nowhere to be found except for the Raw the next 3 weeks. But after that, you probably won't see him again until right before the Raw before WrestleMania.
He's going to come out and sneak attack Cody Rhodes and do something like that. The same thing with The Rock. The Rock is going to be coming, I think, because The Rock has to still film. He has to redo reshoots, right? For what's the movie?
No, I think he's done with that. I think he's getting ready to do the Scorsese DiCaprio movie.
I don't think that's starting yet. Is it starting? I don't know. That movie's supposed to be coming soon too. Something like that, but I don't think it's going to happen now. I think a couple of months down the road, but The Rock still has something going on. But like I said, we might get an appearance of The Rock one of these 3 shows, which
I say it's going to be probably right before WrestleMania, before we see The Rock again. Honestly,
probably the Friday night SmackDown.
Yeah. We got a women's IC title #1 contender match: Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez, with Raquel Rodriguez with a massive assist from the Judgment Day. But I like that they are giving somebody new a shot. I like that Raquel is getting the shot over Bayley.
Yes,
me too.
Bayley's been one of those players that have been too long, keep winning, always in the big main event. It's time. And don't get me wrong, Bayley is one of the greats. But new talent. It's always about new talent, which we actually are seeing a bunch. Like everybody complains that they don't see the same people. Like they complained when Jay won the Royal Rumble. But it's great to see new people win.
It is.
To try to build up new stars. You can't keep having the same stars over and over and over and over again. You need to change things up. And look, like at the end of the day, like Ron Breaker, like when he ever gets a chance, the fight, this week, next week, we'll see what happens with Ron Breaker and Finn. Like I said, that's a pretty new match. Finn versus Ron Breaker, which is good. And I can see Finn maybe winning down the road, but I don't think he's going to win now. I think this is I think maybe next week we might see the downfall of Judgment Day. I think the new member is coming soon. He's going to assist, help with Dominic, somebody, Aston Black. But apparently he's going to SmackDown. That's what they say.
Yeah, because that's where his wife is.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know what happens down the road, but the new people that are winning these things, it's great for the business. It really is. And the constant winning of the same people, it does get annoying. Like we like to see how many times The Rock won, Stone Cold won, how many times Shawn Michaels won, Triple H won. Now you get to see a lot of different people now, which I'm happy about. Bring up new stars. Like I said, there's 1 million women in the back. Freaking Michin, 3 fights against Chelsea. Come on. You could have had somebody else fight Chelsea.
It was a pretty short Raw this week. We only had 4 matches.
It was
a lot of promos and backstage segments. We got a backstage segment with one Chad Gable denying that he had anything to do with the interference in the match with Rey Mysterio. In clear shot, we see another person wearing a USA-themed mask being escorted out by security. While everyone wondered why New York security was so slow. Dom, why is New York security so slow?
I don't know, because there's so much to do. The bright lights, too much light going on in New York City, man. In a blink of an eye, New York minute.
For your brothers of the badge, Dom.
Yo, listen. In a New York minute, anything can happen. Things can change in New York minute, so you gotta.
They're too busy waiting for their chopstick sandwich to get there.
Something, I don't know, but it's kind of funny.
Cheese, whatever.
All kidding aside, I actually kind of knew something like that was going to happen. that you're going to see some dude in the same outfit as Chad Gable get escorted out. I'm like saying to myself when he was saying, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. And she's like, we literally saw you wearing the outfit, this and that. And I'm like, are they going to do this angle where have somebody else come in the thing? And sure enough to do that, I'm like, look at this.
See, and I think the guy from the background, I think that might have been Fenix.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Is that
I don't know, but it was funny when he came into the ring, said thank you. Gracias.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny stuff.
That's funny. Hey, look, you know what? Like I said, that if they do it right, and Chad Gable is a funny dude. He is a funny dude. From Shorty G to what he's doing now. He's like he should win something, man. That dude should win something.
Michael Cole has an interview with Io Sky in the ring. She says it's a dream to be here in Madison Square Garden as champion. She's over the moon to be going to WrestleMania as the champion. Cole introduces her number one contender, Bianca Belair. She tells Io she's happy to be facing her. Cole asks if Ripley would still be a champion if Belair wasn't at ringside last week. And she tells us she had enough drama. Rhea Ripley enters to tell Belair that she has no business being out there. It gets nasty between them, and Io tries to split them up, but is pushed away, so she slaps the pair of them and reminds them who the champion is.
And she was crying. She's like, I'm the champion. She's jumping up and down like
It's a good little spot to start to lay the seeds for this triple threat.
Yeah. And she says you should be freaking attending to the Jay Cargill thing. She told Bianca Belair. That actually we're going to see that match. But like I said, if Bianca is part of that whole Naomi storyline and she had something to do with the Jay Cargill thing, she's not winning. She's not winning the belt. Because Jay Cargill is going to come out and she's going to lose.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler if that happens. But I don't know.
And then we got our steel cage match, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, with Seth Rollins picking up the win after Roman Reigns physically dragged him out of the cage, setting the seeds for our main event, or our not main event, but our triple threat match on the men's side at Mania. Punk versus Roman versus Seth. Roman Reigns dashes out and viciously assaults Seth Rollins and looks to end his career, but security and officials show up just in time. He looks towards the ring to see Paul Heyman consoling Punk. Reigns doesn't like that, so he gets in the ring, smashes Punk against the cage, and finishes him with a spear. The OTC is back in full force, or as his new shirt says, YTC, which I'm assuming is your tribal chief.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Raw went off the air.
And it was funny. The curve stomp was used 3 times in that 24-hour period. You had Seth do it. You had Moxley do it in AEW, and then you had friggin' Roman do it. So it's kind of funny. The curve stomp has become a big thing.
This match, I feel, went on too long. Roman should have come out and interfered sooner, because towards the end of the match, it became nothing but a finisher fest.
Yes.
Seth, Punk giving the GTS, Seth kicking out, Seth giving Punk the GTS, Punk kicking out, Rollins stumping Punk, Punk kicking out, Punk stomping Rollins. Yeah, it just became a finisher kick out fest in the last 5-10 minutes of the match.
You know what sucks? When your finisher move doesn't work and you get up out of it, which really sucks because you think the finisher move is what it's good night. That's it. End the story.
Called the finisher for a reason.
Exactly.
Right.
So when you get out of the finisher, it's not the finisher move anymore. You got to think of something else.
The almost finisher.
Yeah.
The kick out is fine. I'm okay with kicking out of finishers because it gets excitement. You get pumped like, oh man, what's gonna happen next?
Exactly.
To me, it just kills it when it's like finisher kick out, finisher kick out, finisher kick out,
yeah.
finisher kick out, finisher kick out. It ruins the story of the match, and
because they were trying to outdo
the
Will Spray friggin' but they did the friggin' suplex off the top rope. Basically, that's the biggest move that they did. If you really think about it, they really didn't do a lot of things. Hey, look, like I said, they pumping up Roman Reigns, his return to come back, and
I think Punk should have hit the Macho Man elbow off the top of the cage on Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But it's an interesting dynamic now to bring Punk in that because he was being consoled by Heyman and Reigns didn't like it and attacked him. So now that gives Punk, saying Reigns cost him again. So that gives Punk fuel to be in this triple threat and go after Rollins and Roman. So
let me ask you a question. Does this mean now Paul Heyman might betray Roman Reigns?
I think there's a massive Paul Heyman heel turn coming.
Yep.
A massive one.
He's training Ron Breaker now, so kind of Ron Breaker might be a you never know. He might be coming into the equation down the road.
Yeah.
So that could be a possibility, or like the favor that he owes Punk. To see Punk becoming a heel, you know what I'm saying? There's some possibilities of what can happen. Like I said, but Paul Heyman is definitely turning on someone.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be the heartbreaking one that nobody saw coming is the moment he turns heel and leaves Roman. And I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later because we are definitely winding down to the end of the Bloodline storyline. So I would not be surprised to see that heel turn coming sooner rather than later. But what was your guys' ratings, thoughts, likes, dislikes from this Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden?
Go 6. Go ahead.
I'm going to give it an A. I thought it was good. I thought there was enough in there to make it better than SmackDown. The matches were all good. So I give it an A.
Yep. I give it an A too as well too. I did like the steel cage fight, Roman Reigns returning, that bringing that excitement for the triple threat match to be in WrestleMania. Other than that, man, like I said, I love the promo, of Cody. It had, like I said, the dynamics of it's feeling a lot like a WrestleMania atmosphere now. Things are starting to take form, and we're getting things that are leading towards the big dance in April.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm very intrigued by we seem to be getting all these slivers that are branching off in multiple directions. It's going to be interesting to see how they bring it all together to culminate at WrestleMania. Yep. I give Raw an A2. Solid matches, solid backstage segments. The steel cage match was really good. My only gripe is, God damn it, Netflix.
Yes.
We pay for a subscription for a reason.
Yes.
Don't bleep out F words, especially if you're going to leave it to where you can still read their mouth. If you're still going to let the crowd chant holy shit and not bleep it out, don't bleep out middle fingers. You're a premium subscription service.
Netflix.
Even at your lower tier, you're a subscription.
Why are you blacking out the screen because he's putting his fingers up?
If parents are letting kids watch, things like Squid Games or shows like that.
You got kids at WrestleMania at the wrestling match watching it.
What you're letting kids watch physical violence with each other in wrestling, even whether it's fake or not, and you're okay with that. But God bless you, a middle finger can't have that.
Yeah. Jesus.
And I was going to ask if either of you watched it after to see if it was still there in a replay.
Yeah, it's still there because I watched. I forgot about Raw because for me, Raw is now on at 5 instead of 6.
Yep.
So I forgot Raw. So I came in halfway through it, and I ended up having to deal with my kids, so I couldn't see the end of the. I missed a good portion of the start of the cage match and got there right towards the end, and so I went back and watched it, and they leave it in, they black it out, they mute it, but you can still see Punk tell Seth he's gonna beat the fuck out of him, and then you see Punk flip him off, and then it blacks out. But then before Seth flips Punk off, the whole screen goes black, and you still hear Michael Cole describing it while you have the black screen.
And then you hear freaking Seth go, asshole, you're an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, call him an asshole. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Just leave it out. Leave it alone, dude. WWE, the whole world.
Prime time, there's a certain time you can say the one cuss word, one F-bomb at a certain time. And that's why they got away with the Cody thing, saying Rock because of that certain time. And that's another thing with Netflix too. It's just it sucks that they do that, because I thought that they were going to stop that when they
need to.
They definitely need to. They do, because middle fingers. Who cares? Everybody. Oh, I see little kids doing this today. I did that. I didn't freaking
right.
People in the street.
Like if it was like they used to not block it out for Stone Cold on USA and the Attitude
I
Era.
do it here right now. Here you go.
Yeah, like come on, man. Let's not. And I wonder how much of it is people getting upset with the WWE not bleeping out when Cody told The Rock to go fuck himself and all that. And now they're being, but it's a premium service. Like there should be no, you put the rating up there before, it doesn't matter. And
that was we're a child-friendly show. Guess what? PG-13. Yeah. You've been watching movies, all the superhero movies, all the stuff for kids. They've been cursing in that damn thing.
There's kids in attendance, and you're still letting them, shout at the crowd's chant. No, come on, man. If you go to a WWE show, you know what you're getting. If you're bringing your kids to a WWE show, you know what you're getting. Stop it.
You're damn Skippy.
Stop it. I understand doing it on network TV. That's fine. Doing it on CW USA. That's fine. But this is a premium service that these people pay for, myself included. Come on. I don't want to see blacked out screens. I don't want to see muted swear words. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me all. Give me all.
How long it took for The Walking Dead for Daryl Dixon said the F word. It was an F-bomb in freaking Walking Dead that they used after so damn long. Come on. Listen, we're at a time which I don't understand, where everything became soft. It just sucks. The fact is that a middle finger, freaking everybody uses middle fingers, from kids to grannies.
It just, there's no need for it. If it's not like they were excessively cussing, and then you're going to pick and choose what words are bad. You're going to bleep the F word, but, you
can't say asshole.
Yeah, let Seth sit there and call him an asshole and all that. I don't know. I digress. I'm just saying, Netflix, I don't pay for that. I pay for premium content, and you deciding to bleep that and block that out is not a good look. You might as well go back to USA Network if you're gonna play that game.
I thought that's why they were leaving USA, so they could do it a little bit more, but guess not.
But just a reminder, did I give we all gave our grades on Raw, right?
Yep.
Today.
Yeah. Okay. Just a reminder right here, Raw next Monday night, live from Brussels, special start time of 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time.
That's crazy. I still think that's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is crazy. And I'll be like, that's 12 p.m. my time. So like at noon, I'll be eating my lunch, watching Monday Night Raw.
That's awesome.
As soon as I get out, that's my time to get out of work. So
Monday night, I have no idea what I'm able to do Monday night. Like, it sucks, man. Because I'll be just getting home from work, to watch towards the end of the main event, because I'm not going to get home in time, because it starts at 3. I go to the gym. Right. The time I get home from the gym, I'll be getting home after I pick up my wife. My wife, we come home together by almost 6 o'clock. So it might be over with by the time.
Make it a cardio day and just watch it while you're walking on the treadmill.
Yeah, you can do that.
There you go.
That's what I do. I've started making Tuesday nights my cardio when I go to the gym, because that way I watch Daredevil Born Again while I'm walking on the hamster wheel.
There you go.
So, all right. This leads us into NXT Roadblock. Our first match of the night was the TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, versus Nathan Fraser and Axiom. And the Hardy Boys won by pinfall, which I thought it was very classy of them to later congratulate them and say that they were the fastest team they've ever wrestled.
I tell you what, that was a good match, man. That was a good match.
It was a damn good match.
But definitely on the edge of my seat. On the edge of my seat, Because think about it. You're watching it like, are they going to win, make history, this and that? And it was so close. And then once the mishap happened when he jumped off the top and he kicked him, you're like, oh, that's it. It's over. But that was a good match, man. I definitely was very intrigued and happy about that match. Which
there was that one, I don't know if we call it a springboard, but where he went off the ropes and he came over onto the Hardys. He almost missed it. He almost
I know, yeah.
Halted right over him.
Rotated, yeah.
It's like, right over him. Oh wait, I gotta hit him. Crazy. That was good. That was a good match. It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Backstage, Mickie James gave some advice to Jada Parker about making her mark in the women's division.
Yeah.
Then we saw a match between Jordynne Grace defeating Roxana Perez by pinfall.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting match.
You know what's interesting about that? That she lost to Jordynne Grace, and they're pushing her to come to the main roster. You would think they would have a little bit of momentum towards her coming to the main roster because she already was the longest girl in the Royal Rumble. She also broke that record. She also was in the Elimination Chamber. So I don't know, going back to NXT and then losing. I know Jordynne Grace. I'm not saying Jordynne Grace is that. It shouldn't, she's a powerhouse, but kind of like, doesn't that take the momentum out of Roxanne Perez in a way that she was the main roster a couple of things and then goes back down to NXT and loses, kind of, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Jordynne, but just kind of crazy that they would definitely make Roxanne Perez lose just like that. I don't know.
Backstage, The Undertaker gave Oba Femi a pep talk, saying he's been watching him. He's impressed and tells Femi to go out there and defend his yard. That's when we got our NXT Championship match. Oba Femi defeating Moose by pinfall. That was a good, just two big dudes, powerhouses going at it and throwing hands.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who should who should Vaquer defend against and stand and deliver? That's interesting. It's a couple good attenders. That's another thing too. You're gonna have to come up with a good opponent for Vaquer after she wins. You got to step up the game. But
well, we just had that. Someone asked that question.
Yeah. Yep.
Nola says, who should Vaquer defend against at Stand and Deliver? I was going to answer this, but I was going to wait till after we went over the Stephanie Vaquer match, the Stephanie Vaquer match, but that's all right. In Stand and Deliver, Lola Vice, Solo Ruka, or Jordynne Grace defend the NXT Championship. I think she should. She's probably going to end up dropping the North American Championship to Jordynne Grace.
Yes, I see that. Or if Jada Parker comes back, and because you have to give that girl a championship. You have to give her something. She hasn't been in the championship game in a while, and she's definitely like I said, give her something. But like I said, there's a lot of good women in that damn in NXT that deserve championship matches. So we'll see. But Jordynne Grace does sound like the legitimate.
Yeah, I think she's going to drop.
Yeah.
They're going to keep her NXT champion for a while.
Yeah.
I think she drops the North American Championship to Jordynne Grace. Then we got we saw a little bit of Ricky Saints after momentarily talking to Ava. Fatal Influence told Ricky Saints that he doesn't belong at NXT and walks off. Saints complained that everyone keeps saying that, and he has a match next week against Ridge Holland. Ethan Page then comes over and then reiterated to Saints that he shouldn't be in NXT and walked off to come out for his street fight, which led us to our street fight, New York City street fight. Javon Evans defeating Ethan Page by pinfall, which was a very good match.
Yep. I want Ethan Page to get more love, man. Try to get more. Like I said, I still think that he's going to be part of that Rock faction. I still think down the road, just before it all comes to an end, he's going to be part of it some way or the other. But that was a good street fight. It was.
Then we got the name of the group. Sean Spears, Izzy Dame in Brooks Jensen's group is called the Culling, apparently.
Culling, yeah.
Styx, I didn't mean to cut you off. What did you think about the Javon Evans Ethan Page match?
The only thing I was going to say that was it was another incident where when Javon jumped out, he almost missed Ethan at the table there.
So, sometimes you overjump your. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, his was a little better, but I
tell you what,
that was a good move.
It was rocking over there, man. It was rocking over there.
Yeah,
my friend went there and he said that it was big time. Atmosphere was huge out there, man. The crowd, people, man, it was awesome, man.
And that was in the theater, right? It was not.
Yeah, it was the theater. Yeah.
That's still a good size spot. So it was good house for that.
Oh yeah.
Eddie Thorpe was interviewed by Sarah Schreiber in the crowd about the NXT Underground match for next week. Trick Williams attacked Thorpe and took him out, which led us to our main event, the winner-take-all match for the NXT Women's Championship. NXT Women's North American Championship. Stephanie Vaquer defeated Julia to win the NXT Women's Championship. And I saw a lot of talk online that they were unifying these titles. WWE is not unifying these titles. She is going to defend both of these titles separately. So again, like I said, I honestly think she's going to probably drop the North American Championship to Jordan Grace at Stand and Deliver.
You know what? And I'm going to have to salute Julia for a woman that has to go out in injury for a period of time or whatever injury she has, for how she held up and how she freaking goddamn fought, which I have to really say that she did a fantastic job. And she's going to be missed for a little bit, but when she comes back, she'll come back stronger. And I actually think she's going to be a heel when she comes back.
The Dom sheets are saying that her injuries aren't serious, but they're nagging, and she's got many of them. So she's being advised to step away for a little bit to get healed and come back.
Yeah. Because those nagging injuries can turn out to be big time injuries. So you step out for a little bit, you rest, you take it easy for a little bit, and you come back strong. And look, the year has just begun. So if you really think about it, if she comes back by the fall, think about it. She comes back by the fall, she should be a lot stronger, a lot better, and the injury should be healed. And like I said, I think she's going to come back as a heel, and we'll see that because, like I said, I think they're going to fast track. They got to fast track Julia going to WWE. I think next year, definitely next year, she's going to be in the WWE. I don't see her staying in NXT that long. And then after that, Stephanie will be coming up next because they're great talent and they're in the NXT, but they will definitely sell a lot of merchandise and a lot of tickets when they come to the main roster. You'll definitely have Julia on Raw or SmackDown, or you have Stephanie on Raw or SmackDown. They won't be on the same show because you need that balance of the shows to have one of the two prospects on there.
Gentlemen, your ratings, your feelings, your thoughts about NXT Roadblock.
A+.
A+ from Dom. Styx?
I'll agree. I think it was an A. Really good show. I enjoyed the whole way through. So,
yep.
A. I agree. It's an A for me as well, as it was a good show from start to finish, and it held. Like sometimes during NXT, I'll flip around, I'll go do something else, I'll have it on the background and just listen to it to keep up for it, to talk about it on the show. But this is really one show that had me on the edge of my seat, especially since I knew, even though I knew for 2 weeks now because it leaked out in the Dom sheets who was going to win the match.
Listen, all I know is it was even better. It was even rocking because the bright lights of New York City, Broadway. So it kind of really, it did definitely deliver the match. Like I said, it's unfortunate that Julia was hurt, and I wish that fight could have been a little bit longer, and I wish that fight would have, it sucks that knowing that she was gonna lose because she's hurt, hey, listen, I'm telling you, man, she'll come back by the fall. She'll be strong, and we'll see another. I think Stephanie's going to hold on to the belt for quite a while.
I agree.
Yeah.
Leading into, my God, the worst display of professional wrestling I've seen in a long time. I don't want to hate on AEW. I've said it before. I want AEW to succeed. It's better for professional wrestling overall if AEW succeeds. But my God, what was this Dynamite? Did either of you watch Dynamite this week?
No, I actually missed it. I missed it.
You should feel happy about that. I'll run through Dynamite real quick. We had the Ops versus the Jobbers, with the winner, the Ops. Your Hologram and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Brian Cage and Drilistico, with Drilistico and Brian Cage picking up the win. Again, Toni Storm, best part of this show.
Yes, it was. I seen that part.
With her sexual innuendo laced promo. With stitches in her lips and staples in her head and glass in her ass, Toni Storm stands before you to say, the tramp is still the champ. A chunk of her heart will be gone forever, but when she looks at this title, it is well worth it. You will never hear her meow, as she's no pussy. To the rest of the women, put the keys in the bowl, and let's get this orgy started. Toni Storm will forever be timeless. Megan Bayne appears from nowhere to take out Toni Storm.
Yep. I saw that part. I saw that she is the best part of AEW.
Absolutely.
She had her promos are friggin' on par, man. I mean,
her like and JF by hands down.
Yeah, I'm saying that that timeless Toni Storm friggin' gimmick is, it is like friggin' Scorsese friggin' stuff, which is kind of crazy. It's just it's just one of those things where it's like you tune in to see that because you want to see what she's gonna say. It's just the truth.
Then the Dynasty International Championship Eliminator saw Speedball Mike Bailey versus the Beast Mordos, and Mike Bailey won. We had an in-ring promo from MJF calling Adam Hangman Page's win a fluke. He isn't upset anymore because he's still 10 times smarter than him. MJF gets his, and this thing between him and Page isn't over by a long shot. He is interrupted by MVP, who ended up giving MJF a hug. MVP takes us down a history lesson of what they did together when MJF was a young 18-year-old. He is proud of everything MJF has done, but what he is not proud of is what happened on Sunday. He asks why Maxwell isn't hurting people, and the answer is he lost his edge. The guy is backing down. The guy is back. Don't fear him anymore, but they do fear the Hurt Syndicate. So maybe it was time they talk some business. MJF tells him it isn't the same kid he once knew. He doesn't need his advice anymore. He was the AEW World Championship for over 400 days. MVP tells him to focus on the word was, and then handed him his card. Then we saw an open challenge, Matt Caster versus Konosuke Takashita, with Konosuke winning. Then we had Willow Nightingale versus Penelope Ford, with Willow Nightingale winning that. And that was and then we had the Dynasty International Championship Eliminator, Orange Cassidy, picking up the win there. And that was the end of your AEW Dynamite.
Did you see? I took a picture with Orange Cassidy when I went to Toy Fair.
I did.
Yeah. So I got the, I got that video. That video actually did pretty well. Just coming him out of the vault when they got him out of the vault. It's kind of funny.
Some Orange Cassidy, man.
He was in the vault with the stuff, and when they opened the vault, he came out. Some little girl in the background goes, "There was a person in there." But it was so funny.
All right, and that's time to hand it over to Dom for our wrestler spotlight this week.
Step into the ring. The crowd is low. Spotlight of a hero, standing fierce and proud.
Well, with the victory of Stephanie Vaquer over Julia, the spotlight definitely has to be focused on Miss Stephanie.
Okay, good.
I like that. Definitely like this picture. I like this picture. She looks awesome. I wouldn't want her any other way.
She definitely looks good with all that gold around her waist.
Exactly. So it's so basically Ana Stephanie Vaquer Gonzalez. She was born in Chile, professional wrestler. She's a Chilean professional wrestler. Signed with WWE. She performed on the NXT brand. She's holding both the NXT and Women's Championship. We saw that Tuesday night. She is the Women's North American Champion as well, and the first to reign each. But she made history. She's the first woman to hold 2 championships, a la, Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch had 2 championships, and she was a two-time Becky.
2 belts.
Becky 2 belts. And she did that. So we gave that. We don't need to know that. Just a little history on her, a little professional.
What's interesting is how WWE got her when she went and had a banger of a match with Mercedes Moné, and then turned around and WWE was like, signed her right when everyone was like, oh man, AEW needs to sign her. She's going to be in AEW. And then, nope, she was signed right up by WWE. Like, I want to say within hours or days of that.
Exactly. And apparently she was offered to come onto the main roster or to stay in NXT. And she thought it over. She's like, I want to go in NXT.
Yeah, she said in an interview with Bully Ray on Busted Open that when Shawn Michaels called her, that she was given the choice for main roster or NXT, like Dom said. She originally said main roster, but then she thought about it, and when she was asked again, she said NXT because she wanted to learn the WWE system as well as English
and everything else. Which, hey, that's a professional right there. That's great. They didn't rush her. Like, I think, yes, she can definitely go into the main roster 1, 2, 3, but I think the NXT experience will make her a better wrestler when she comes into the main roster. She is definitely going to be you're going to have banging matches. They're going to be really great. And, it shows what her range is, man. She's definitely a top-notch wrestler, and like I said, the NXT brand is going to show her a lot more. So Vaquer is best known for her time with the Mexican wrestling promotion. I'm going to mess this all up, man. Friggin' Consuelo
Mandel de Lucha Libre, or CMLL.
Yeah, CMLL. She's a former CML World Champion, CML World Tag Team Champion. And she's also, she was the first luchador in CMLL history to have both titles simultaneously. So she had 2 titles. She had titles when she went there too. It did so to a departure in July. So she also wrestled the fellow American promotion, All Elite Wrestling, AEW. They lost out on her. The British promotion, Revolution Pro Wrestling, RPW, due to 2 organization partnerships with CLL. Also had a stint in Major League Japanese promotions such as World Wonder Rising Stardom, Ice Ribbon Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, and New Japan.
I think it's Joshi Pro Wrestling.
Oh, Joshi is Joshi. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I NJ Joshi. Yeah.
Joshi was Joshi. It go both ways. The NJPW.
There's a lot about you, Dom.
Yeah, I know, right? Where she's a former Strong Women's Championship title holder for the latter. Vaquer, she's the first Chilean South American woman to compete and win championships in CMLL, NJPW, and WWE, and second overall Chilean South American to compete in WWE. So she's making history, for her talent. She's been on the radar a lot. So basically, people knew about this girl a long time. Go back to the next. Yeah. So a couple of championships she won. She won the Arena Azteca. Was it Budokan International Women's Championship? I'm vouching that up.
Budokan. Yeah.
Budokan. Arena Chichilian, right?
Cotillion.
Isaac Cali, right?
Close enough, yeah.
Mixed Tag Team Championship she won. The Altaza Universal Lucha Libre.
The Lucha Libre.
She won that. And the Consuelo Mandani di Lucha Libre CMLL World Women's Championship and the CMLL Women's Tag Team Championship. Next page. Nice. She also won the Ascendente Women's Tag Team Championship, the Ascendente Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament, the Grand Prix de Amazonas, the Guerrero de Lucha Libre GDLL Women's Championship, the ICW Legacy, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship, Prometheus Wrestling. She won that. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked number 5 top 250 females single wrestlers in 2024. She's also ranked 84 on the 100 tag teams in 2023. And NXT, she's the women's champion one time and the women's North American one time, which she won on Tuesday night. And those are all the belts.
She's a belt collector.
She's a belt collector. And she's definitely holds those belts very well. I can honestly say.
Good job, Dom. I feel like we know so much more about Stephanie now. We can all
Spanish. And
Spanish.
Hey, who knows? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. Gracias.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
All right. And with the hot tag from Dom, Styx is up to take us through a trip in the time tunnel.
Step into the time tunnel, let's rewind. Every different audience gets left behind. Lights are flashing, reality's just a blur. Everybody's ready, let's take this on.
What do you got for us this week on the time tunnel, Styx? Oh yeah, you're muted still.
Here in a second. I'll be muted.
Oh no, you're not. You're good. You're good. You're still good.
Nice.
Okay, I'm still good. We'll see. All
All
right. So this week on the time tunnel, I've been talking WrestleMania season. So I thought we'd jump right in. We'll go to a couple of anniversaries in the next couple of weeks. This week being the anniversary I picked was WrestleMania number 1, or 40 years ago, March 31st, 1985. The very first WrestleMania debuted on pay-per-view. Here's your poster card. Of course, we had a lot of things thrown at us here in this one.
Oh, now he's muted. Wow, that's a delay. Good job. Good God, that delay. Oh my God, Styx.
Wow.
Holy crap, Styx.
Well, anyway, World Wrestling Federation presents WrestleMania, Madison Square Garden, New York City. It was on Sunday, March 31st, 1985. You had All-Star Tag Team main event with special guest referee Muhammad Ali. You had Orndorff and Piper versus Hogan and Mr. T. That was a big friggin' match at the time where you had celebrities. You had celebrities show up in WrestleMania for the first time. Really think about it. Muhammad Ali boxing as a referee, and you had Mr. T, who was a TV personality, and he was in back in the day. When did Rocky 3 come out? With Clubber Lang, with friggin' Mr. T. That was
85.
85. So basically, he's off his Rocky 3 appearance. There you go, Styx. Bring it back.
Rocky 3 came out in 82.
82, right?
Oh, 82? Okay.
82. Okay. 82.
Yeah. So we got your Intercontinental Championship match, Greg Valentine, Junkyard Dog. Women's title match with Leilani Kai versus Wendy Richter. Tag team match, Volkov and Sheik and the US Express. And like Dom said, we had a lot of celebrities, including Liberace. I don't know if you've ever watched this and you've seen Liberace sitting there with a little Timex in his hand.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
You know, it's kind of funny.
How could you forget the $15,000 body slam challenge between Andre the Giant and Big John Studd?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That down in the we lettering there, but
Billy Martin. You had Billy Martin friggin' as a ring announcer, man. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, he comes out and announces the main event.
Yeah. And you had the Rockettes. The Rockettes were big in that day too.
Rockettes were very big in that day. Yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll move on to the next. And WrestleMania 1 was held in Madison Square Garden on March 31st of 85, New York City, New York. The attendance on that night was 19,121. That's still a good number for Madison.
That is a good number. How many people can go in Madison Square Garden now? Like, what's the?
I don't know, because I'm sure the seating is a lot different.
Yeah, I know
sure they've retrofitted new seating.
But that sounds like a lot of people. Almost 20,000 people.
There's a lot of people.
That's still great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Currently, Madison Square Garden holds 19,500.
You see, there you go. So basically, think about it. This sold out in figure 85. 19,121 people. That is crazy. Back in 1985, the spectacular what the WWF would turn into today.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy, man.
Yeah. So I mean, and think about it. This is really the big spectacle for wrestling. This is their income to what would be the juggernaut of WWF, WWE as we see it today. So 19,000.
I'd rather think about how Madison Square Garden somehow added 379 seats to the arena.
Well, that's floor space. That's new seating, retro seating, but it's not that big of a. I've never been in there, but I don't think it's that big of an area.
But look at that crowd. Look at that crowd, man.
Crazy.
That is a crazy crowd for 1985, man. I can really say that, man. That's nuts.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one here. All right, here's once again, here's your matches and their outcomes. First match on the card, Tito Santana defeats the Executioner.
You stuttered that. You stuttered this.
Your internet's an executioner.
Then we had King Kong Bundy versus
SD Jones.
All right, King Kong Bundy versus SD Jones. Special delivery. With it only took 25 seconds of time. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Ricky Steamboat defeats Matt Bourne.
Yep.
4 minutes 37 seconds. Then you got Bruno Sammartino's son, David Sammartino, versus Brutus the Beefcake with Jimmy Valiant in his corner. Ended in a draw after 12 minutes 43 seconds.
That's a long match, though. 12 minutes and 43 seconds. That's a long match.
Yeah. Well, they had to fill up time after King Kong Bundy only took 25 seconds. It's like shit. Now we gotta fill up. The big Andre the Giant versus John Studd, the $50,000 body slam match that lasted 5 minutes 53 seconds. Where Andre the Giant defeated body slamming Big John Studd for the first time. I think maybe for the first time.
Of course, you were gonna have that any other way.
Yeah. Leilani Kai versus Wendy Richter. Wendy Richter, with Cyndi Lauper in her corner, defeated Leilani Kai, the champion, to win the WWF Women's Championship in a 6-minute, 12-second match.
Captain Lou Albano was in the Girls Just Want to Have Fun video as a father because of this, and that's how she was able to get it. Cyndi Lauper was in this, so
Captain Lou, was it Captain Lou or was it Donnie Aiello? Oh no, it was Donnie Aiello. I was thinking Captain Lou was in the Madonna video. Yeah,
pop it up huge.
Yeah, that was Donnie Aiello.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, don't preach. Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik with Freddie Blassie in their corner defeated the U.S. Express with Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham. To the even single or tag team matches. Both of those guys were good wrestlers in their day. They were the champions with Captain Lou Albano in their video.
Their video.
Yeah, their video.
Yeah, listen, the Iron Sheik made them humble.
6 minutes 55.
Humbled them.
Yeah. Hack two.
I'll humble you.
Yeah. All right.
Iron Sheik came to my hotel one time, and he was doing that. He was talking about the humbling people. It was funny. He asked about Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago because he's no longer with him. But the whole fact that he was there, he We asked about Hulk Hogan. He goes, put 2. I friggin' humbled that guy. Hulk Hogan.
I spit on him. Yeah.
I spit on him, yeah.
You know, he would be one guy that I wouldn't mind meeting. Wouldn't have mind meeting at some point. I think he was a great heel, but he was also a great ambassador for wrestling too, for his years. So, and then let's see, on to the main match. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. Hogan and Mr. T with Jimmy Snuka in their corner defeated Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff with Cowboy Bob Orton.
And Bob Orton, friggin' Randy Orton's dada.
Yeah. And of course, we said Muhammad Ali was the guest referee. That was a 13-minute, 13-second match.
13-13.
Yeah.
That's about how long that Hulk Hogan is staying at his appearances now for the Real American Beer.
No, I know, right?
Oh, my time's up. Yeah.
You heard? You left people stranded?
Yeah.
People stranded with the beer stuff? Yeah.
Kids crying.
Yep.
If you have never watched WrestleMania before, go back and give it a watch. It's a great spectacle to watch.
The nostalgia of old time wrestling.
Nostalgia alone. I mean,
the WWE where it came from has really blossomed into the mega corporation it is now. You know, and to witness that in 1985 and to be here for WrestleMania 41.
And just the shot that Vince had to take on WrestleMania 1 and how much they were close to going bankrupt and out of business, and he put everything he had into WrestleMania 1.
And it became a huge success.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it for me this week. Thank you, guys.
Good job, Styx.
Good job, Styx. Definitely. Good job.
That brings us to our end of the show. Just want to remind you guys one more time. Raw Monday night, special start time, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, live from Brussels. Don't miss the return and our first look at heel John Cena. If you want to see more heels in action, make sure to check out Dom and Styx every Friday night over on the Renovision YouTube channel. You can find their links in the section below on the Qualified. You can see me and Styx do our thing on Saturday nights and Saturday Night Special. You can see Dom talking and getting angry about Star Wars on the Star Wars show there on Sunday nights.
So true. So true.
That's not true.
And that's it.
So true.
That's
so
it.
true. Yeah,
Just
that's
Star
it. Just Star Wars.
Just Star Wars.
Our poll: do you think Lex Luger belongs to the WWE Hall of Fame? 57% said yes. 43% said no. So almost a 50 split on that. But again, let us know in the comment section below what you think of that. Do you think Lex Luger belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame? Let us know what you thought about all the professional wrestling this week, whether it was SmackDown, NXT, Raw, or AEW. Sound off in the comment section below. Let us know who you think that Stephanie Vaquer's first championship match will be against at Stand and Deliver. And if you want more professional wrestling goodness, you can click over probably by Styx's face here for our videos, our other videos. And if you want to listen to us audioly, if you want us to make sweet, sweet love to your ears as we pin you to the mat for that 1, 2, 3 count, you can catch us on all of your podcasting platforms. So that's it for us. Dom, do you got a word of wisdom for us this week?
Word of wisdom, like I say, is Miss Parker. Thank you for coming to New York City.
Good night, everybody.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found.